Has there ever been a Bird Bowl?
Basketball players are a joke.
For Jeff Saturday, this is as close to Ted Lasso in the United States as we get. First thing that I did was put a bet on the Colts.
I'm going to bet the Colts.
People running rigged lottery ball machines.
Put 17 moves
If
around.
you wanted to, I think you could avoid picking the right ball.
Hey, are you sure you're not on this? On today's Pardon My Take, we have our good friend Ryan Whitney in studio. NHL 2022-2023 season preview. Season starts tonight, so we figured good time to get him in here. Get talking about all the games.
There was an awesome preseason game last night with Ovi and McDavid going back and forth, back and forth.
Yep. So get ready for the NHL season with Ryan Whitney. We have one question with the quarterback, Jared Goff. I know that he actually was the genesis of this entire segment when he picked up his phone, but we never gave him the true one-question treatment. And we also want to do it after a win. We have some Monday Night Football recap, some college football talk, hot seat, cool throne, FAQs, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, don't know what you're waiting for, you guys are going to love this app. We've been using Game Time all year, and we've gone to a bunch of games, baseball games, hockey games, football games, concerts, all of them. So download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. The Game Time app, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Thank you to them for sponsoring the show. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, and I am so sick of the Saints shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
sick of it.
That's a good way to put it. I've heard a lot of people clamoring for Jameis Winston, myself included. I'm currently clamoring for him right now. He's got 4 broken backs.
How about the fact the Saints have 3 quarterbacks and 2 of them are objectively very fun and interesting, and we had to watch. Nice guy, but we had to watch Andy Dalton struggle on Monday Night Football.
That's what I'm saying. If you give me Taysom Hill, give me the Taysom Hill game.
Yeah.
I want the experiment, the grand experiment. Let's see if a dose of Taysom Hill, that tends to work. Why don't we build the entire offense out of Taysom Hill?
Yes.
I want to see that, or I want to see Jameis Winston. But as Jameis 1 of 1 has pointed out several times, he's the most injured quarterback maybe in NFL. He's lucky he's alive right now.
Jameis 1 of 1 actually reached out to me and said,
me
hey,
too.
bro, how is it what Dennis Allen did to Jameis Winston not a bigger story in New Orleans, if not nationally? And he went on to just say that.
Did he say Dennis Allen reinserted his QB1 who has just broken 4 vertebrae in his back?
Yeah.
6 to 10 weeks standing recovery time.
So free Jameis. Not a great Monday Night Football game, but the Ravens' defense looks very scary. Very scary.
Well, when they're tackling, it does.
It does when they're tackling. I still think that was the play, the touchdown for the Saints. He was out of bounds, and they just didn't review it. They didn't. I felt like his foot was out of bounds. They're like, fuck it, this game's over.
The cornerback that just reacted like he should be cut.
Yeah.
Play till the whistle.
He stopped and he just pointed at the line. He was like, that's where he stepped out. Yeah, you probably should.
Did you lose a bet from
finish.
that?
Yeah, the game started. The Ravens scored, and I was like, this game's over. I bet him minus 17.
Oh, no.
With crazy big odds.
Oh, no.
So obviously I was the only, it wasn't like everyone felt the back door, but I did.
Yeah.
And I was furious.
Yeah.
Damn.
Lamar Jackson was
You just
incredible
can't win
again
one.
last night.
No.
He's just Lamar Jackson is maybe my favorite quarterback to watch when I don't have a dog in the fight.
He was angry last night.
He was very angry.
I like that.
And I'm a little concerned, Big Cat, though. Like, is he going to take in all these hits? Is he going to be able to last in the NFL?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I like seeing Lamar that angry because I do think he's one of those guys that cares more. Like, everyone cares, but I feel like Lamar is in the top echelon of caring about like his team and his play, and like you just see it week to week. He really fucking cares. Like, it's not just a job to him. He really fucking wants to like win.
He puts the team on his back.
Yeah, he does. And this might be recency bias, but I have made a wager on the Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl at 13-1. So I'll talk myself through it, but I basically was thinking to myself I probably should get an AFC team because I have my Eagles. And after watching Sunday, watching what the Jets did to the Bills, watching what the Titans almost did to the Chiefs, why not defense? Why not defense? Why not? Everyone's like, oh, no one's going to be able to keep up with the Bills and the Chiefs offense. Why not? Why aren't we looking for defense?
It also gives you a good opportunity to just root for your guy at linebacker again, Roquan.
Yeah, Roquan
so that's
Smith.
Nice. You get to just transfer that. You got big bird.
Yeah, two birds. I'm rooting for the birds.
Yeah.
The Roquan Smith, Bowser's back. They're I think he was a second round draft pick. He would have been a first round draft pick. Ojabu from Michigan.
Queen.
He's coming back soon. I worried about their offense. Mark Andrews being out hurts, but I was just thinking about it more. They're running the ball like so well again, and why can't it just be a little zag? I also looked it up in terms of defensive rushing against. The only AFC team in the top 5 is the Tennessee Titans. So maybe just don't play the Tennessee Titans again.
Yeah, so
don't play the Tennessee Titans, and the Ravens can win the Super Bowl.
So if you go up against the Bills, that's going to be tough because
they almost beat the Bills.
So the thing about the Bills' defense, I think we talked about this last Sunday. They're engineered to stop Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
They pretty much built their entire defense around get to a quarterback that's going to dice you up with his arm. Lamar is a little bit different. Their entire running game is built a little bit differently. So I could actually see the Ravens being a pretty good matchup defense-wise against either the Chiefs or the Bills.
Right.
But yeah, when you do run into the Titans, who they play Ravens-style defense.
And they play like Ravens-style, just like, hey,
Yeah.
our passing offense isn't the best. Let's just fucking punch you in the mouth over and over.
Yeah, I think either one of those teams could beat each other.
And this might sound very stupid, but I kind of like, 2018, we obviously had talked about it a lot when Lamar won the MVP, and I was on was it 2018? 2019?
I think it's 2018.
When I kept on saying they're frauds and I thought they were going to be out and they lost the Titans, they were the 1 seed. I like the Ravens as like not the 1 seed. I like when people are sleeping on the Ravens because everyone said the Chiefs and the Bills are the 2 teams in the AFC. I just think they're a fucking tough-ass team, and their defense is going to keep getting better. And Lamar, I don't know.
If you
could you imagine? Wouldn't that be so Ravens too?
I was about to
for
say,
Lamar to win the Super Bowl in a contract year.
That would be,
and they have to pay him the Flacco.
That would be he would pull a full Flacco on you.
Starting to all come together.
And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen after the Super Bowl or after the season's over, Lamar, because he's in a very weird situation where he's representing himself, and it's be careful what you wish for on both accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to let him walk at the end of the season, you're not going to get another Lamar Jackson in the draft. You're not going to trade for another Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
You're going to have to go out there and find somebody. That's going to suck for a while for the Ravens. But also, if you're Lamar, that offense was built for you by, Greg Roman.
Mm-hmm.
It was built by Harbaugh, who I guess his brother helped design that offense to begin with, and perfected it with Kaepernick to a certain extent, who got beat by Joe Flacco's Ravens.
Who's also Greg Roman, right?
Who's also Greg Roman.
Greg Roman was with the 49ers, correct?
Yeah, Greg,
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so this is it's a good situation for both the Ravens and Lamar. I hope they work something out because I could see Lamar going someplace where he doesn't have that that exact same offense.
Yeah.
Might not have the exact same autonomy in that new offense that he's getting into. And he might be like, this sucks. I wish I was still on the Ravens.
I did love the story that Lamar said he didn't realize what he was signing against the Bucs on Thursday night that said, pay Lamar.
Yeah.
And Joe Buck gave that anecdote. He's like, he said afterwards he didn't know what he was signing. And then we had the other anecdote, which I loved from Monday night, the tattoo guy, total psycho, crazy NFL fan. NFL fans are the craziest, and it's very funny. He gets, I don't know if you guys were listening or if you were on the Manning cast, but he gets a tattoo after every win that symbolizes that win. So when they beat the Bucs, it was like a sword through the Bucs logo. And the Ravens official account tweets them all out, except for he got one that just said pay Lamar. Oh no, sorry, it was the sword through the Raiders logo. The Bucs one was the pay Lamar one. They didn't tweet that one out.
Interesting.
So it was, I just kind of like that story. But I'm sure there'll be Ravens fans be like, oh, you're jinxing us. Guess what? I don't control who's going to win the Super Bowl, and I wanted to have a team in the AFC as well. So it's a substantial wager on the Ravens, 13-1.
I'm still going to make fun of the Ravens if they choke. Like, I'm not allowing your future to take my joy.
No, listen, I am too. Like I was actually talking to Max about this in the car today. He was like, I was like, if the Eagles get to like the NFC Championship game, that will be an incredible stream. Like I'm going to be there rooting with you guys. And I was like, but you do know that if the Eagles lose, I will switch so fast to just troll because that's just money for me. Like it's not my fandom.
And I'm rooting for the Bills.
Yeah, I am too.
Bills and the Colts in the AFC, those are my teams.
So that was part of this thought process as well. Is Josh Allen okay?
Yeah, so
I hope he's okay, but I'm worried he's not okay.
I'm going to put on my doctor's hat for a second because I'm currently recovering from the same injury that Josh Allen has right now. We're very similar. I hurt mine in a golf simulation. He hurt his elbow getting sacked by a defensive end on the Jets. So Billy has injected my arm with research chemicals, but besides that, I haven't really done any sort of recovery on it, and I'm fine. I feel like I can go about my day and do my job on a regular basis. So I expect Josh Allen to also be fine.
I hope he's fine, but I'm worried that it might be more serious. So I was thinking about it and was like, well, if he's hurt for a while, this could be a problem.
Yeah,
right?
Billy, you look like you have something to say medically.
I just helped you avoid surgery.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
no.
Thank you.
Basically, me being lazy helped me avoid. Me not scheduling surgery is really what made me avoid the surgery.
And not the injection.
What were you going to say, Hank?
Well, he's just a running quarterback, and that's just
Yeah,
kind of the
they
risk
always
you take
get
when
hurt.
you take big hits.
They get hurt.
Also, PFT doesn't have to use his arm for his job.
True.
I type. What are you talking about?
Debates.
What's that?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Not for his job.
No, it's No Nut November.
Yeah, right. I
actually picked a perfect time.
Yeah. Well, you got hurt 3 months ago.
I just do. It's
Picked a perfect time to be re-hurt.
Listen, I haven't come in 3 years. My body just resorbs all the protein and energy. That's why I'm so masculine. That's
And
why
so horny.
That's why my T's so high.
Yeah, right.
I was also going to say Likely's been really good.
Likely's
in
really good.
Mark Andrews' replacement.
Again, there's probably, I would say there's a 1% chance that either of my futures get to the Super Bowl, but because it's just me and I'm the worst gambler of all time.
Has there ever been a Bird Bowl?
Bird Bowl would be fun.
Bird Bowl. I think there has been a Bird Bowl.
Ooh, Bird Bowl.
Called the Bird Bath.
Ooh, has there?
2 birds, 1 stone.
Huh.
It had to be.
I don't know if there has been a Bird Bowl.
That's worth 2 in the bush.
The Eagles played the Raiders and the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Patriots have never lost to a bird team. That's the first search when you type in Super Bowl bird team.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for clearing that up. The Falcons played the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
I don't think so.
Give me other bird teams. The Cardinals
All
played
but
the
one
Steelers.
of the 5 bird teams have made a Super Bowl.
Seahawks played the Broncos.
Seahawks played the Steelers. Seahawks played the Broncos. Panthers played the
Ravens,
Patriots.
49ers, Seahawks, Patriots, Falcons, Patriots, Eagles, Patriots.
Ravens, Giants.
The Cardinals have never made it.
Giants, yeah. So no bird. No, the Cardinals have made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's
They lost to the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
because aren't all the bird teams pretty new besides the Eagles?
Seahawks have been around for
a while. Yeah.
They're new to the NFC.
Yeah. I just said
Kind of.
Panthers for the birds. I don't know why I said that.
I
was like, Panthers played the Patriots.
They're bird adjacent.
That's not a bird team.
They are rocking.
They're very much not birds.
They're rocking the all black jerseys on Thursday night. So thank God, at least we're getting the Falcons and the Panthers on Thursday night.
Yes.
At least we're getting like
Hell
a new
yes.
uniform to get us through this.
One last stat for you. Ravens have faced the 3rd hardest schedule for opposing offenses. So that was the other part. I looked at their schedule. I think they played the Jags, Steelers twice. They could win. They could lose maybe one more. Like they could very much have 4 losses going into the playoffs. So yeah, Ravens. I'm hoping that it's kind of like my Villanova when I trashed Villanova in 2015, and then I hopped on their bandwagon in 2016. Hoping this just turns all the way around. So
I really
like the Ravens.
I like Patrick Ricard. I want Patrick Ricard to get
a house.
He's insane. The fact that he's able to move is nuts. Like his body defies, as Billy says, he's like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
In terms of his proportions, he's exactly as wide as he is tall, and he runs probably like a 4.8, 4.7 40.
And thanks for that tip, Hank.
Yeah, good tip, Hank.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Patrick
Ricard.
And
then not to brag, but we called
Talked
it.
about that at the beginning.
Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson had I think he had 1 catch and a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Last night. So that's
perfect.
That's the Deshaun Jackson hat trick.
Kevin White also had a catch.
Nice.
I'm very much in this similar to the 50-50 raffle. When Kevin White finally scores a touchdown, because I bet on him every time he gets elevated, I will be exactly even for my life betting on him to score a touchdown. He's always like 20-1. He's never scored a touchdown in the NFL, which is sad.
I will say with Patrick Ricard, I did give the tip to the group. Patrick Ricard, first touchdown score. They got in a 3rd-and-1 goal line situation, except it was on like the 40-yard line, and they ran Patrick Ricard. So if that,
So wait, that wasn't goal line.
but it was a goal line
If the
type
goal line was on the
situation.
So the
40-yard
play was
line.
just ran at the
and they
not
ran him
near the goal line.
first time they were in a situation
If,
where
wait,
it was,
wait. If the 40-yard line was the goal line,
But it was 3rd
you
and
would
1.
have gotten
No,
a
no.
touchdown.
We would have won.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
that
they
was
had
the
a
first-
1-yard play in place.
They
That
used
was
him, so they wasted it.
yes, but if that was on the goal line, I would have been right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, if my aunt had pedals, she'd be a bicycle.
Yeah, we can now get refund for that.
I think so.
Yeah, be like, hey, watch this play. See this?
Pretty much
Just
a
pretend
touchdown.
that was at the goal line.
I did see a stat that came out last night. We have publicly doubted the Vikings, and we have put some skin literally in the game against them. Little stat came out saying, stop asking if the Vikings are a legit 7-1 team. They've played the 13th most difficult schedule this year. The 49ers have played the 23rd, Seahawks played the 24th, Giants the 27th, and the Eagles have played the 31st ranked schedule. So, but the Vikings lost to the Eagles,
By a lot.
who have the 31st ranked strength of schedule.
Right.
So does that mean that the Eagles are only good because they play a weak schedule, including the Vikings? That's where you start wrapping your head in the circular logic.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm still very comfortable with where we stand.
I am as
on our
well.
Minnesota Vikings.
I am as well. And we just need Josh Allen to be healthy and the Bills to just shit pump him. Because
Yes.
that will scare me. If there's a healthy Josh Allen and the Vikings go to Buffalo and beat the Bills,
Who's the backup in Buffalo?
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum
Revenge.
going to Minnesota with Stephon Diggs. Double revenge game. I love the Bills this weekend. I don't care who's playing quarterback.
Case Keenum revenge game. What are you going to say, Jake?
Vikings have a favorable schedule. They only go on the road 2 more times.
It's an easy schedule.
this year.
What?
This calendar year.
Oh, you did that.
and one of them is
us.
at Detroit, at Buffalo, and then at Detroit, and then the last 2 games at Green Bay and Chicago.
But they better be careful what they wish for.
Oh, yeah, you
'cause
can't
they,
do
they
that.
keep winning these games. They're going to get flexed into primetime. And then look at this fine nest of hell that you've
Yes.
created for yourself, Kirk Cousins.
You can't do that, Jake. There's 2 games past New Year's.
Yeah, they both have them on the road.
That was you duped us.
It sounds
you duped
crazy
us.
at the beginning of November,
that was
right?
a classic announcer trick
Yeah.
that you just did.
Okay, other story. Jim Irsay has lost his mind. So Jim Irsay, we as first reported on Pardon My Take, because I'd say if we had one thing that we do better than anyone else, it's when we can basically read the tea leaves of a coach getting fired based on quotes from an owner and their actions. We've been talking about Frank Reich basically being fired a month ago when all this started. He finally was fired on Monday, and in an absolutely shocking turn of events, Jeff Saturday is the new coach of the Colts. If you're probably saying, hey, where was Jeff Saturday coaching? He wasn't. He was at ESPN
That's not exactly true, Big Cat. He was coaching 2 years ago.
2 years ago, high school.
Oh, yeah, high school.
So Jim Irsay has hired Jeff Saturday. He then gave a press conference. He was asked if he's experienced. He said, yes, he is fully experienced enough.
He actually, my favorite part
Yes,
of the
he
press
is fully
conference
capable.
was when he said that it's actually a good thing that he doesn't have any NFL experience.
Yeah, so-
because that way he doesn't have all this fear that goes along with a lot of guys who are NFL coaches that have to turn to analytics.
Yeah, he
so
said,
it
I'm-
turned into like
Yeah.
a rant of Jim Irsay against like this guy doesn't know shit about numbers, so therefore he can never use numbers.
He's so dumb. He's smart.
I'm starting to believe in Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
In this experiment. Now, if you're not rooting for Jeff Saturday, you're a nerd with a calculator where your nuts should be, because this is what makes the NFL so fun, is that we get this guy that's completely unqualified for the job. He's going to have to learn, number one, how to like do all the boring shit involved in being an NFL head coach, like scheduling meetings, figuring out cafeteria times, transportation, hotels. It would be a miracle if they just show up on the sidelines on time
Yes.
against the Raiders. He is being thrown to the wolves. He has no idea what he's doing. There's nobody on the team
PFT.
that calls plays.
Plays. Yes.
And-
They fired the offensive coordinator, and then they fired the coach. You were right, though, PFT. This Jeff Saturday situation is like...
I know I'm right.
He's basically... Jeff Saturday, when they talked about it afterwards, they asked him, what he felt when Jim Irsay called him. He said shocked would be an understatement.
Yeah.
Shocked would be an understatement. He's also playing the Raiders, who just last week he said the Raiders are garbage on Twitter. Jeff Saturday did, because he was an ESPN analyst watching games on his couch. And now we have Jeff Saturday, the coach. Jim Irsay also said we were lucky to get that he was available, which what was he doing otherwise besides being on ESPN?
It made it sound like every other coach that he called was busy with like running errands this weekend.
Yeah, he said I've never hired a losing coach. It's right there in black and white.
Yeah. Last interim coach that he hired won a Super Bowl.
Yep, that's true. He said that Chris Ballard is a winner, which where has he shown that he's a winner?
Well, I guess he's above 500, right?
Yeah, I guess that would technically be winning. I actually think this is going to sound crazy, but with the way this Colts thing has worked out, Jim Irsay, Frank Reich, Chris Ballard, I think I actually take Carson Wentz's side in the breakup.
So,
because they remember how much they bashed him and were like, he's not a leader. He's the reason we lost the Jags. Now that we've moved away from it, 8 months, and we've seen some more stuff, I think Carson Wentz was not the problem. It was just all the other guys.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in Indy, and I think it's fair to also ask the question, is Sam Ehlinger a coach killer?
Yeah.
So he steps in, and then immediately, like 2 weeks later, boom, Frank Reich's fired. A lot of people are saying it. I just wanted to give a platform to it.
Also, quick stat correction about that Colts game. It was 75 and sunny in New England.
Yeah, it was. It was not.
It was raining earlier in the day.
It was not. It was not raining.
I know that. I was kind of there.
You were there. What does that mean? You were kind of there.
I was within.
Unpack that.
I was within 100 miles of the stadium, and it was raining.
Where you were?
Yeah.
Okay, but not
earlier in the day.
Okay, but
there was a
not there.
passing shower.
So you got rained on while you were not there at a different time than the game was being played.
It was wet. The conditions were wet.
Okay.
Like in the beginning.
Conditions were wet.
Jim Irsay also said that he likes to operate like the CIA
Yeah.
when hiring a head coach, which is, I don't know what that means, if he was interrogating him, if there was waterboarding, spending some time in South America. Jim Irsay probably enjoys that sort of thing.
How much does he hate the rest of the staff that he just called Jeff Saturday? Like everyone else has. Is Chuck Pagano on the staff? No, not Chuck Pagano. Gus Bradley, is he on the staff?
I don't know who else is on the staff.
I feel like Gus Bradley's
Reggie
always
Wayne.
Oh yeah, Reggie Wayne's
on the staff.
I actually think that they handled this hire
Gus Bradley is.
much like you and I handled when we first tried to call a quarterback on our show.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, let's just go through our phone and see who we know, who will pick up, and then we start scrolling. I think Jim Irsay did that, except with people that he thought could potentially coach his team. So he's like, I love Saturday. I love Jeff Saturday. Yeah, let's get him involved.
This actually makes sense. Jim Irsay's just like, everything is reverse. Like when he called Chris Ballard a winner, I think he means because Chris Ballard was with the Bears when the Colts beat the Bears in the Super Bowl. So he's a winner because Jim
been around
Irsay
him.
won that experience.
He's been around him.
No, but like he looks back on that fondly. He's like, remember when Chris Ballard was a scout for the Bears and we won the Super Bowl against the Bears?
Yeah.
Winner. Even though he wasn't on the Colts.
There were a lot of pictures being disseminated on social media of Frank Reich yesterday, right after he got fired, because now the new thing is Adam Schefter has that graphic that he puts out that's got like the bottom line ticking across it saying Frank Reich fired. And there were like 3 or 4 pictures that I saw in a row, and I realized that every time I see a picture of Frank Reich, he looks extremely sad.
Yeah.
He looks like Eeyore. He looks like he's just walking around crying.
The Patriots should go get Frank Reich right now to be their OC because he is a good offensive coordinator. He just hasn't been able to run a team. I'm looking at the Colts coaching staff right now. This kind of hurts. Do you know who's the senior defensive assistant on the Colts coaching staff?
No.
John Fox.
Oh, really?
John Fox on the Colts coaching staff.
You've got all that experience?
Dude, and he was like, let me go. And not only that, like, I'm sure that there'll be. I think Jim Irsay actually has been applauded so much for his work against Dan Snyder. Mm-hmm. He's like, I now have amnesty, so like the Rooney Rule doesn't apply because. So he was like, hey, I want a legendary Colt to come in and help turn this team around. When he has Reggie Wayne, who knows the entire personnel, who's on the coaching staff, he's like, nah. Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday.
I don't think people are prepared for what a bizarre experience this is about to be. For Jeff Saturday, this is as close to Ted Lasso in the United States as we get.
I'm going to bet the Colts. I'm going to bet the Colts.
First thing that I did was put a bet on the
Yeah, I'm
Colts.
going to bet the Colts. I have to.
I got him at +6. I think
Yeah.
that line's actually moved.
Yeah.
Now it's like +7 now. But it's going to be so entertaining to see him try to figure out how to run this team. He doesn't know how to call plays. He doesn't know the personnel.
He doesn't have a quarterback.
He doesn't have a quarterback. And they said immediately after they hired him.
Well, he has Nick Foles.
They're sticking with Sam, though.
Yeah.
They made that announcement
Right.
for him. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, how much tape he was able to watch. On the defensive side, if you're John Fox, and really you're anybody on this coaching staff, and you find out that they're hiring Jeff Saturday, you're probably looking around the room like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Huh?
Why? He doesn't know anything about this.
John Fox just probably just grabbed a bottle of beer and was like, fuck it. Whatever. What are you going to say, Billy?
I was just wondering, how much are they paying Saturday? Because
Probably
why,
a decent amount.
why would you get off the couch to get into a situation like that, which is going to
What are you talking about? He just cut
Who's
to the
saying
front
no
of
to
the
being
line.
an NFL coach?
He literally just cut to the front of the line. If Jeff Saturday does even a halfway good job with the Colts for the rest of if there's 8 games left in the Colts season, I think if he goes 4-4, he probably gets the job. He cut the line. Like, he's never coached at any level higher than high school. Guys coach. I mean, poor Reggie Wayne is trying to fucking someday be a head coach, and Jeff Saturday just cut in front of everyone. Now he gets a job. That's a no-brainer for him.
But to tarnish your legacy, you're well loved in Indianapolis.
No,
I think
this
he's
team
fine.
is terrible.
I think he's fine.
There's nothing he can. If they just stay terrible, everyone's like, well, he had a no-win situation.
Now,
it's actually the perfect. There's no way Jeff Saturday can lose because either he takes a job, the Colts still stink, and everyone's like, oh,
It's on Irsay.
yeah, it's on Irsay, and they still stink, and like, thanks for trying, Jeff. Or they somehow miraculously win a few games, and everyone's like, Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, my conspiracy theory says that they hired Jeff Saturday because they want to hire Peyton Manning to run the team, to be the GM in the future.
Yeah.
And if they get
Buddy.
they're buddy. They're quite literally butt buddies. Like, Peyton Manning spent 15 years with his
asshole.
hand up Jeff Saturday's asshole. So now Jeff Saturday's a real life puppet of Peyton Manning as the head coach, just to bring the rest of Peyton Manning's body from the wrist all the way back to be the general manager, and then the two of them run the team.
I feel like this is going to hurt Colts fans, and they're already down pretty bad, but I feel like Peyton Manning likes the Broncos way more than the Colts. Doesn't he still live out in Denver? I feel like every time I see him, he's wearing Broncos colors. I feel like he really likes the Broncos.
But he also might be miffed because they didn't bring him in to be general manager of the Broncos.
Yeah.
If the Colts offered him to come in and be the general manager with Jeff, I feel like
I think that actually is more to Billy's point. I wouldn't take that if I were Peyton Manning.
yeah. So if
Yeah.
I was Peyton Manning, I would say it might work out perfectly actually for Jim Irsay, because check this out. Peyton Manning's a smart guy when it comes to football. You see him when he's on the Manning cast. He's calling out coverages. He's calling plays. He's immediately calling timeouts when coaches should be calling timeouts and challenges. They get Jeff Saturday to coach the team in order to lure Peyton Manning in to be the general manager. Peyton Manning sees this happening and says, yes, I think I will be a general manager because that's what I want to do with my career from here on out. He joins the Colts, and he's like, Jeff Saturday stinks as a head coach. He's fired. And then Peyton Manning hires
Gets
a
to
new
be
coach.
the coach. Gets to be the coach. He hires himself.
Well, I don't know if he wants to coach. I think he wants to
Maybe.
be like front office. But Saturday might just be the bait
Yeah.
to bring him in, and then they'll cast him aside.
But if I were Peyton Manning, I would not take that job. Because that is what Billy's talking about. You would potentially ruin your legacy. You would, like, in a situation where Peyton has all the money in the world, he has to work, 10 times a year, and he can go to, like, Tennessee games, he can go to Broncos games, he can go to Colts games. He's got the life. I would not want that.
I think he's competitive, though.
Scott
Or
Frost.
Scott Frost,
like
yeah.
a return home
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, no, if you go back and it doesn't go well, I mean, I don't think anyone thinks. No, actually, yes, John Elway still is the greatest Bronco of all time, and every Bronco fan loves him. But it's definitely soured a little with how the Broncos have been, and he won a Super Bowl with them as a front office guy.
Well, which you don't get the next generation that still reveres
Correct.
you as a legend. They only know you from what you've done to the team.
It's the Phil Jackson in New York.
But what about this? What if the full job is to get Saturday as head coach, knowing that he'll suck for the rest of this year? They get the first overall pick, and then the Colts yet again reload at quarterback.
Bryce Young.
Peyton Manning would probably
CJ Stroud,
look at that being like
Will
a favorable
Levis.
job to walk into.
Yeah.
I mean, the only point of comparison is like Nick Mangold at Jet Stadium. Right now,
What?
No, go on.
Nick Mangold, everyone loves him.
Right.
But if you ever become the head coach, like, he just bounces around the stadium every game. Everyone loves him. He's like his legacy solidified in New York. But like if he were to become head coach in a bad situation and it go really downhill, all those people who
It's
just
already
love,
downhill though. That's the point. It's already downhill.
Right.
They're already a mess. Jeff Saturday's inheriting a mess. So it's not his fault.
But if it keeps being a mess.
Not his fault. It already was a mess. He didn't you know what I mean? Like he can't no one's going to be like Jeff Saturday really fucked this up. This team is a complete dumpster fire. So it's I don't think he can lose.
Listen, I'm rooting for Jeff Saturday because it's going to be so fun to watch. And from all accounts, he's a really nice guy. But he did absolutely jump the line.
Oh yeah.
There's so many people out there that are on that staff that would have been a much better hire. And it is crazy to think about all the things that a coach has to do besides the X's and O's.
Yes.
And calling plays during a game that he's never done before.
Right.
Getting players to the bus on time. That scheduling stuff, like, that's on a head coach.
Agreed on all that. Jeff Saturday, it's going to be weird. The whole thing's going to be weird.
I'm rooting for
and
him.
I'm taking the Colts. All right, let's talk some college football. We're recording before the new rankings, but I would assume it's going to be Georgia 1, obviously. They'll probably do Ohio State 2, then Michigan and TCU 3, 4, Tennessee probably 5 right outside. It was a great college Saturday. LSU has this is the part that sucks because we don't like Brian Kelly, but Brian Kelly has always been objectively just an incredible coach. And we all knew that this could be turned around that quickly because he is that good of a coach. And that win for them on Saturday night, beating Alabama in Baton Rouge for the first time in a decade, it's crazy because it's not like LSU the last 10 years. They had 2019, one of the best teams of all time. But every other year, it's been Bama kind of kicking the shit out of them. Now they beat Bama without a team that's one of the best of all time. So like LSU fans can now think like, hey, maybe this is the new norm. Like that wasn't they have the greatest team and they beat Bama. That was they were just like more disciplined, played a tougher game, and they found a way to win. And they put their nuts on the line for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I like
it's
that.
a bit. It's like a. I don't know if I'm expressing it correctly, but it feels different because this now feels like it could be Brian Kelly could create a team at LSU that consistently can beat Alabama, not one year where you have this incredible team and talent. It's no, every year LSU should be able to compete with Bama.
Yeah, so it's a difference of being able to try to recruit players by saying we want guys that have a chip on their shoulder because we want to be able to start beating Bama.
Right.
To saying, like, we want guys that are just the best.
Right.
And that's a pretty big difference because sometimes the guys that have a chip on their shoulder, turns out they have a chip on their shoulder for a reason.
Yes.
And maybe they're not at that same level as the guys that they should be beating. So it's like it's more powerful to be like, we are better than them. Come here if you want to win.
Right.
That's a much better way to recruit somebody than being like, come here if you want to change the culture so that we can win.
Right. And it's crazy to say, but LSU could be in the college football playoff. If they win out, I think they would probably get in. And Tennessee fans would riot, and they would probably have a very fair case because they did go to LSU and beat them.
You think a 2-loss LSU team would get in over a 1-loss Tennessee team?
If the other things broke a certain way, yeah. Because I think it would be Ohio State or Michigan. TCU complicates everything. If TCU runs the table, it complicates everything.
Well, whoever they're playing, it's like final destination for whoever team quarterback is.
Right. And they play Texas, Baylor, and at home against Iowa State. I don't think they'll run the table, but let's just say they do. Now you have an LSU team that the committee always takes into account winning your conference. An LSU team that beat Bama, an LSU team that then beat Georgia. And it's like, what have you done for me lately? That FSU game feels like forever ago. I think it'd be pretty tough. I think it would be pretty tough because it would be like the ending of their season.
Yeah.
They would have racked up these big wins.
And you also have to ask, like, who's playing the best football right now.
Right.
And I think if
Tennessee fans, again, would have every right to be upset.
So if LSU, if they beat Georgia in the SEC championship, I do tend to agree that they'd probably get in over a 1-loss Tennessee team. And it would be the ultimate, like, both sides have a good point. Where Tennessee fans could be like, we kicked the shit out of you. Like, we beat the absolute dog shit out of LSU in Baton Rouge. But then LSU would be able to say like, well, we just fucked up Georgia. That made you look like a high school team.
Right.
So it's a big like snake eating its tail.
And it also would all happen at the end of the season, where if you get to the end of the season and let's say LSU is ranked 5th or 6th and Tennessee's not playing in the SEC championship game and LSU is, they jump because they would beat the number 1 team in the country. Again, I don't think it's right, but I'm just saying there's a path for LSU to get to the college football playoff. I do think the Pac-12, unless like one of them really slips up, I think they probably will get a team in this year because I was thinking about it more. Oregon has a tough time because they played Georgia, got smoked, and Tennessee also played Georgia, got smoked by a little bit less, even though like if you watch both games, both Georgia was leaps better than both teams. But if UCLA or USC runs the table, it would be very interesting. I think the committee would probably take one of them because USC would have their worst loss is a 1-point loss to Utah at Utah, and then they racked up at the end of the season a win against UCLA, top 10 team, a win against Notre Dame, top 25 team, and then a win against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game, top 10 team. If you do the same for UCLA, they would beat USC, and then they would also revenge their sole loss, which the committee always loves, revenging your loss against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. I think the Pac-12 might be back, unless they fuck it up, which they obviously
I think
will.
that Washington's going to beat Oregon this weekend, though.
Washington has not been good.
I think they're going to beat Oregon this weekend.
They have not been good recently. That team has they had that moment. That was one of those situations where Washington beat Michigan State, and everyone thought Michigan State was better than they were, and then you got farther down the line, and you're like, oh, Michigan State is garbage. Oh, maybe Washington is as well. Because they went and got punked by UCLA. I think they won, but closely against Oregon State last weekend. What were you going to say, Jake?
What about Ohio State and Michigan getting in if they play close?
So
that would be crazy.
The problem with that is Michigan played an absolute dog shit non-conference. Mm-hmm. And the only way that I think it could have worked is if Michigan played a better non-conference and they lost close to Ohio State in Columbus. And you could make the argument, well, they're a one-loss team and their only losses against Ohio State in a road environment.
Or if Michigan wins.
If Michigan wins, but then it's the reverse where Ohio State, you just lost at home.
Yeah.
So it's I obviously want the Big Ten to have 2 teams in.
Can you imagine if they played a national championship game?
Yeah, I mean, it would be incredible. But it's actually, weirdly enough, I love the tradition of college football, but Michigan and Ohio State should think about playing this game in like early October because it actually hurts them to play it this late.
Duke UNC in basketball in the Final Four and Ohio State Michigan in the championship game the same year.
That'd be wild.
UNC's got it out. They're like on the very outside, agent of chaos because they only have 1 loss.
UNC would be, I'm confident in saying, the worst team to ever make the college football playoff if they get it.
Michigan State didn't get a first down against.
That was bad.
And
Washington had a really bad one against Alabama that one year.
Yeah,
I think this UNC team would be worse. They've got a good quarterback, but their defense, I think, is it's like slapstick.
They only have 1 loss.
It's slapstick comedy.
No, I agree.
Watching them try to play defense. Also, that'd be very funny if they won a college football playoff game, and then you've got Gus Malzahn in the championship game. And Gus Malzahn gets another like big job next year.
Yeah,
that would be
puts
awesome.
Another ring on his finger.
So I think it's going to depend on the weather. The Ohio State Michigan game, because like if it's bad weather, Michigan I think can steamroll them.
Yeah.
By playing their brand of football, which is just basically we're going to punch you in the mouth.
I think it's gonna be a close game no matter what.
If it's good weather, I feel like Ohio State can just throw the ball.
I don't know. Michigan has they just are a tough team. Either way, we are at the point in college football season where we stress about all this stuff. We get anxious about all this stuff. All fan bases are upset and making their case, and it will all work itself out.
It should.
Someone will catch a loss we didn't see coming.
Unless LSU wins 2 games.
Yeah, but then what I'm saying is like, say LSU wins out, right?
Yep.
The Pac-12 is notorious for cannibalizing themselves and fucking themselves over, where it's like USC will beat UCLA and then lose to Notre Dame and then beat Oregon, and the Pac-12 will eliminate itself. Like, these things always kind of find a way to shake themselves out. The one thing that you have to root for if you're a Tennessee fan or Michigan and Ohio State fan to have a shot at this thing is you need TCU to lose. Because TCU going undefeated, they're in, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's just
one
and they
thing's
might just win weird games, but they just keep winning.
And that's Clemson is fucked.
Yeah, Clemson's out.
It's
Done.
bad
Done.
Clemson. It's a bad Clemson.
Clemson is out. Alabama's out, which is crazy. This is the earliest they've been out. I think I saw the stat. This is the first time Alabama will be playing a regular season game without a chance to go to the national title since Saban got there, or since 2010.
I'm really looking forward to Nick Saban doing like the simulcast in the college football playoff this year. If they have him be one of those coaches that sits in the room while they're all eating pizza, and like just so bitter, like why am I not here right now?
It's also so funny because the expectations of where Alabama is as a program, when you actually look at their season objectively, take a step back. Yeah, they could have lost to Texas. They could have lost to Texas A&M. Their 2 losses are on the road by a buzzer beater field goal and a 2-point conversion. Like, you can't lose closer than they've lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are 2 plays away from being undefeated, same old Alabama. So it is funny to look at being like, Alabama's trash. Like, what happened to Alabama? And then you're like, well, they played in 2 very, very tough environments and almost won both games by like a very, very small margin.
But counterpoint, they're supposed to be Bama.
Yeah, they are. But it's just very funny to think about. It's like you lost a 2-point conversion and a Tennessee field goal. Any other school would be like, that was an awesome season.
I was watching a YouTube video the other day about that the crazy 2007 college football season that we like to talk about a lot. You know that they offered Rich Rodriguez to be the head coach of Alabama after that season because he had installed the read option at West Virginia, and he turned them down. He was like, no, I feel like I've got more work to do here at West Virginia.
Yeah.
And then he eventually obviously went to Michigan, but he turned down the Alabama. That's how down bad Alabama used to be.
They were down
back
bad.
then. And then there's that one story about what's his name, Coach Price, I think the guy's name was.
Yeah.
Where they hired him in the offseason, and then he spent the entire offseason just like going to strip clubs and using the Alabama corporate credit card.
Yep.
And they had to fire him immediately.
Yes.
As head coach. Alabama, they've been a great team since Saban's been there, but man, they were down real bad for like 7-8 years before he got there.
Nick Saban, I think I said the stat. We do so many shows, I can't remember. I think I said the stat on Pick 'em, but Nick Saban in his time at in the SEC with Alabama, so since 2007, I want to say, because Brian Harsin just got fired. All the other SEC teams combined, how many coaches have they had since Nick Saban got there?
Oh shit,
42.
You were in the room when I said this trivia.
Yeah, he just said pick 'em.
No. But it's just funny because you were in the room.
I'm gonna guess 42.
53.
Oh wow,
It's crazy. All the other teams went through 53 head coaches while Nick Saban has just reigned over everyone.
that's kind of wild.
And now we get what we've always wanted. We want new colors. Could you imagine a college football playoff with Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and UCLA? That's some cool colors.
I can't imagine.
That's
that.
some cool colors.
I mean, Georgia by 500.
Yeah.
Also,
Georgia,
Bama Clemson could be a New Year's Six game.
Yeah, which actually they should do.
Orange Bowl or Sugar Bowl.
Oh, yeah,
or-
the projections are out, and I'm just so excited for bowl season. I fucking love college football.
yeah.
It's the
Barstool
bowl
Arizona
season.
Bowl.
Yeah, Barstool Arizona Bowl. MAC versus Mountain West. Anything else college football? 3 more weeks. Sad. 3 more regular season weeks. Feels like it just started a second ago. Memes jaws on the floor when I just said that. Very sad. Your Colorado Buffalo's not so good, memes. Memes is just sitting there. Okay, let's do hot seat, cool throne. Then we'll get to Ryan Whitney, NHL preview, and then Jared Goff, one question with the quarterback. Hot seat, cool throne is brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Our weeks are filled with deadlines, responsibilities, and just stress in general, but it's college football season, and when the weekend hits, you've got to protect your chill. So this season, make time to chill out and catch the game at your favorite bar, and while you're at it, order an ice-cold Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. Protect your chill this season with Coors Light. Coors Light is the beer of college football, whether your team is a powerhouse with a record to keep or an underdog with a point to prove. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a hell of a season. Stay refreshed through all the action with Coors Light, because no matter how your team fares after the clock runs out, a Coors Light in your hand means you're winning every time. Protect your chill this season with Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Hank, hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat is people running rigged lottery ball machines.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that going around lately. A lot of interesting, statistics out there. People not winning the lottery ball, the Powerball I'm talking about.
Somebody won it, actually.
But that was
It just took them a while, but they eventually won it.
The California lottery announced late on Monday night, everyone was waiting for $1.9 billion, that they're delaying the drawing because officials need more time to complete protocols, and they didn't live stream it. They just put the video up after the fact on YouTube.
Yeah, Powerball rigged.
So that's very suspect. Biggest Powerball in history.
It sucks. I went out. I bought 5 tickets. I was going to split them up. I was going to distribute.
I was going to double.
I was going to distribute my winnings.
If you won.
Yeah.
I was going to match.
How would you do that if it was $2 billion?
I wouldn't be. Yeah, obviously I wouldn't be able to.
Why doesn't anybody ever?
Well, no, if the Ravens and Eagles both win the Super Bowl.
Why doesn't anybody ever take the annuity? The annuity, which is like you get the full amount of the jackpot, but you spread it out over 20 years. That way, I would personally take that because I wouldn't be able to go broke.
I think your family doesn't get it if you die, right?
There was an older woman who did it and put it in her will so the family wouldn't all blow it at one time.
But do you get it if you get the annuity?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought the Powerball fucked you like that.
Well, I think the real reason is because if you take the lump sum, then you can theoretically invest it, and you would make way more money year over year if you just put it in like a
inflation.
What if you just took it to the bank?
Yeah. Actually, Bobby Bonilla's deal, bad.
Yeah, real bad. He should take that money up front and then invested it in the Wilpons guy, who I heard was making a ton of money. Bernie Madoff at the time.
Burn Dog.
By the way, when I see that the Snyders are dealing with Bank of America to try to sell the Commanders, part of me is like, what a bunch of broke boys. Like Bank of America?
Yeah.
Like
what are they going with their fucking debit card?
Yeah,
get it out?
I have a Bank of America account.
Yeah.
Like why?
That's not a rich person bank.
You got to use Goldman Sachs
or something like Swiss something.
Yeah, just say Swiss Bank of America.
Swiss, SUISSE.
Yeah,
that one.
Like a company that advertises at Wimbledon.
Yeah,
is what I'm looking for.
Right. Yeah, you want it to be Wimbledon or Tiger Woods Bank.
Yeah,
that's it.
Anyways, I didn't win the lottery.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
If you put the money after taxes into a savings account and just it gets 0.016 the average saving account return for a year, you'd get $1.5 million a year.
That's kind of chump change though. Like I've already got
$2
billion.
Yeah.
That's pretty
$2
insane.
billion. Yeah.
Just conservatively.
If you want,
what about if you buy apes?
I don't know.
Yeah, you should convert it.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, here's a great idea. It just popped in my head this morning because people were talking about the election. They should make voting entering into a lottery. So one person gets $2 billion. One person who votes.
Oh, I think it should be reverse. I think it should be they should make voting into a lottery. You just randomly, one person gets picked to be the president.
That's what they used to do in ancient Greece. It was called sortition.
Yeah, it's way better.
And then that person would have to be the leader of whatever nation state that was. So it made people invest a lot of money into education,
which
knowing
is smart.
Any one of these people could end up ruling all of us.
Imagine Billy being our president.
I was off by 0. It's actually
just so you know, we knew that like there was something wrong with the stat.
Just 1-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Hank.
My cool throwing: Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. This is a football podcast. Greatest coach, greatest player of all time.
Are you just saying, that just like in general?
No, they've been in the media. They've basically just been gushing about each other. It's kind of like the Skip and Stephen A. situation where they're separated, but they're doing these press interviews and they're going out of their way to compliment each other. So I'll just read these two quotes because obviously both of them are breaking records, accomplishing things, and then they get asked about it, and this tension that the media. PFT and his dad would like to, fanfic and say that they hated each other and that was the reason they left.
Sure.
These quotes would lead you to believe otherwise. So I'll go with Tom first. Asked about Bill when he broke the win record. He said, "We've had 20 years together of elite football experience. I wouldn't have traded for anything in the world. I know he's a great competitor. What an amazing coach he is and how he prepares his team to win. And he's just done it year in, year out. The fact that he's 22 wins away from an amazing milestone, I have no doubt he's going to get it. And I just watch that team every week and am impressed by how they prepare, the accountability that organization has. It starts at the top." And then Bill, when talking about Brady having 100,000 yards, he said, "Tremendous accomplishment, his longevity, his accuracy, consistency, just doing so many things right in the passing game for so long. Phenomenal accomplishment. I'm really happy for him. Nobody deserves it more than he does. He's worked extremely hard and is just very good at what he does. Amazing stat. I don't even know how far 100,000 yards is. It must be a long way. I don't know how many miles. I have no idea.
56 miles.
But that's a great accomplishment.
Wow.
So just
miles.
just
about as
touching
far
stuff
away
from the greatest,
from Boston
two greatest of all time.
Is. I think it's nice, Hank. I also think it's sweet how you're reading into this. Like, you're trying to parent trap them. You're basically Lindsay Lohan in this situation, and you're hoping to get Tom. I think Hank's going to try to schedule an interview for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick
at the same
and
time,
not tell the other one that they're coming to the studio.
Wow.
And hope that they fall in love and start making out.
Wow.
Now that's some fanfic that I can get behind.
All right, PFT, your hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat is Black Mirror.
Okay.
It's on the hot seat because it's really becoming true life. There's an Oculus developer, a virtual reality developer, that created a game that kills you in real life if you die in the game, which I kind of want to play this game.
I don't want to play it. I want to watch someone play it.
I want to play this
I
game.
want to watch someone risk their own life and then watch a death.
But what if it was like...
What if you murder? Like, what if you're the murderer in the...
No. It's set up so the headset will make your brain molecules explode.
Yeah.
It's got like an explosive
Detonates,
charge.
yeah.
That if you die in the game, then... What game? Is there like a video game or any activity that you would have to do and have to do perfectly, or else you would die if you failed?
Ooh.
Do they count to 10?
Scroll Twitter while taking a shit. I could do that perfectly.
That's pretty good.
I could do that perfectly. I could definitely know when an over is fucked in like a college basketball or college football game, or if I die, I could definitely know that.
I think I could change the channel from Fox to CBS right before they were about to come back from commercial break on an NFL Sunday.
That would be tough.
Or else
Hank,
I'd die.
do you think you could
Do you think you pick a
lottery ball?
A non-rigged one?
If we gave you 99 numbers, I still think you'd lose.
I actually have a theory that Hank's purposely not picking it.
Well, that's just as hard.
Okay.
No, it's not,
Dude,
because if
explain.
you look at the
okay.
balls,
Yeah,
it
that's
rotates.
So
if you pick one that's on the outside, it's less likely
he's
to
been
get
picking
picked.
17 though every time.
You're
So
giving-
how does your theory
I don't-
falls
well,
apart
we're
right
17.
You're giving Hank way too much
there? But
credit.
17 moves
If
around.
you wanted to, I think you could avoid picking the right ball.
Jake, if,
Okay, so try it.
Okay.
All right, great.
Can I get some money on that action?
No.
Okay.
See
then
how
I'll do
long
it.
you can go. See if you can go 2 years. We know you can't eat the chicken, so go 2 years.
Jake,
Go 2 years without getting it right.
No, because I like winning.
Okay, so you can't do it.
But you could.
No, well,
like,
you can't.
if you see which balls go up into the thing with the suction.
But you can't.
Billy,
you just said you can't.
I think it's so random once they start moving around that you
Try,
can't
Billy.
be like, that's
Billy,
a cool
Billy, if you don't get it for the next 2 years, I'll give you $5,000.
Yeah, but I want to get it.
So you can't.
So, okay,
So this is a dumb conversation.
I bet I could do it. I bet I could do
Yeah.
it for 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
wow.
Great job, Billy.
Oh, man.
I've
You got
done
it.
that hundreds of times.
Yeah,
Probably.
okay.
We've all done it.
Uh,
I just offered you $5,000. You said you wanted in on the action. $5,000 if you don't get it for 2 years.
Anyways, my cool throne
So
is
anyways.
accountability because Sepp Blatter has finally put his hand up and said, hey, guys, my bad. Sorry about the whole Qatar World Cup thing. He admitted that awarding Qatar the World Cup was a mistake because they didn't have the infrastructure and it's very hot in Qatar. Things that he could not have known when he chose to give
chance.
them the World Cup. What was that, like 10 years ago or whatever? So that's on him. That's his fault.
Yeah.
At least we
And-
won't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. At least you guys won't have to deal with it.
Okay, my hot seat is all the listeners who didn't buy an ugly sweater today, because for 24 hours, the Barstool Sports store has our ugly sweaters, Christmas ugly sweaters. Billy's wearing one that's great. I think he designed it. It's actually
No,
very
memes
funny.
actually did shout out memes.
Shout out memes. Football guy, 20% off for 24 hours. My personal favorite is the Frank raw dogging one. I like that one. Yeah, that one will get you laid for sure.
And the Wada Wada ones.
The Wada Wada one is so sick. That is so sick. So go buy it right now. Barstool Sports Store. You're on the hot seat if you don't buy it.
Get it? Yeah. If you buy them now, you can have them for your ugly sweater party.
This one says, I saw mommy kissing Zach Wilson.
Oh,
like
nice.
So watch your moms.
And then
Would you let Zach Wilson sleep with your mom?
You know what, man?
you know what?
Not
You're
before he
wearing the
lets
shirt.
Ellinger.
Yeah, facts, Jake, from the clouds. My cool throne is Tuanon. What?
What's this trophy on? the
Oh,
thing?
it's the Heartland Trophy. It's Iowa versus Wisconsin playing for a bowl with a huge nutsack. So
Where'd it come from?
these guys I met at Michigan State, they make replica trophies. Pretty fucking cool. Rivalry trophies. Shout out. No free shout outs, but I don't think Barstool's ever going to get in the trophy business.
No.
So, yeah, I met him week 2 at Iowa. They gave me the Cyhawk, and it's just been sitting in my car since. So, and then every time my son gets in the car, he's just like, what is this? I'm like, it's when Iowa and Iowa State play 1st to 12 every year, and it's fucking awesome. My cool throne is Tua on. Jake, I told you before we got in here, I made another bet. Tua to win the MVP, 16-1.
Wow.
If Josh Allen, this is also based, like, I hope Josh Allen's not hurt, but if he is hurt, Tua feels like he's got a lot of like, people feel bad about the concussions. He's going to have a lot of numbers. What if they go undefeated when Tua starts and finishes?
There's a lot of juice behind Tua.
Tua's got a lot of juice. PFT, come in with me. Come on.
Problem is, Jalen Hurts is probably going to be the guy.
I agree. But
I think if it's not Josh Allen, it's probably Hurts.
Wouldn't it be fun, though?
It'd be fun, yeah.
I mean, come on. You can join me.
It would be very
16-1.
Unfortunately, I've already got a future that I put in a long time ago on Derrick Henry. Just banking on Tractorcito season to count for something.
Shout out that guy. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from last week. Some random dude who was banned on Twitter, obviously, for trying to attack people who don't believe in Tua, had a handwritten list of all the people that were against Tua. It was like 100 people. I was on the list and I was crossed out.
Off.
Yeah,
Yep.
Only crossed out name.
Yeah.
So I've seen the light. But that type of fandom is to be commended.
I like that. It's a complete psychopath move, but I respect the fact that he paid close enough. That guy must do nothing but listen to podcasts.
Yeah, and just take down notes every
guy
time.
from Wales.
Yeah, he's a guy from Wales. So, yeah, he probably does listen to nothing but podcasts. All right, Billy.
My hot seat is Matt Patricia and specifically the Patriots offense. So Belichick commented that he thought that C.J. Mosley and Shaq Leonard the past 2 weeks knew the offensive plays before they even got out of the huddle. He doesn't know how it happened, but many are saying that
Sounds like
Matt
the guy
Patricia
might be leaking some stuff.
Matt Patricia maybe just calling a very predictable offense. He's got a lot of tells. It's like an Astros pitcher.
They really should go get Frank Reich. Like, why not? Guy knows how to call offense.
I mean, if you look at the Patriots' history, they tend to do what Alabama does for coaches that get fired. They collect old coaches and
like
Belichick.
Pokemon.
Belichick's like, he goes to the antique store. He's like, I could use one of these. I could buff out the scratches in this one.
Yeah, give me a Brett Bielema and a Joe Judge.
Yeah, just join the staff.
Yeah.
They're big time. Like they're just on the staff.
Just more minds,
without
the
a
better.
role,
Yeah.
and then they go somewhere else.
Yeah, throwing them. It's
Greg
like
Schiano, bring him in.
Yeah, it's like throwing in like a couple munchkins in the donut box. Like, yeah, just throw a Matt Patricia in there. I'll take one of those. We'll see what he can do.
And my cool throne is Jets coin guy. So we did the intrinsic investigation of whether he posted multiple, and we went into like Twitter backlogs type stuff and found out that he only posted it once.
Great.
So his only
Vindication.
Vindication.
I
So I had to
it was-
clear that up.
I thought it was clean because like there would be so many different combinations that he would have had to post. It would have been quite an endeavor. I almost would have respected it more if it had been fake.
The thing is, accounts in the past have done that with different teams.
Yeah, of course.
Predictions and posted like literally thousands.
You know,
of
people lock
combinations.
their accounts and then they go unprivate, like right as the Super Bowl happens. They're like, "Look, I had it."
Exactly.
As they delete
So
all their tweets.
We're clearing his name. We did the investigation. So, unfortunately, the Jets are going to the AFC Championship game, but losing the Patriots next week.
Okay.
I should do that with my account. I should stay private, but now tweet out all the possible combinations.
You have
of
a
Super
lot of
Bowl
followers,
champions,
though, so-
and then after the Super Bowl, reveal myself to everybody.
Yeah, have everyone retweet it.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake.
My hot seat is Novak Djokovic. His team was spotted creating what we were calling a magic potion,
It was water.
and they gave it to him on the court.
So you witch hunt now? Are you a witch hunter?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
He
All right.
He was asked about it during Wimbledon, and it happened again this week.
Yep.
And he called it a magic potion.
Could you?
I saw it, and Djokovic somebody handed him a water bottle and he drank it. I don't think that Djokovic would put anything in his body that somebody else had
Correct.
created and mixed together without his knowledge.
This is a witch hunt. And let me ask you a question, Jake. Do we drink when we have bottles of water that are not paying for, pardon my take, like branding? What do we do with it?
We ripped the tag off.
Right, exactly. We get it out
That's
of there.
body armor.
Yeah, it's body armor. That's okay.
When was the last time they wrote me a check?
Yeah. I'm just saying, is Djokovic maybe not giving free ads? We should commend that as podcasters. No free ads.
There was a video of him inhaling a bottle.
What?
What do you mean inhaling?
Like
So he has asthma, and you're shaming that now too?
Never. I would never. No.
Oh, you have asthma?
No, I don't think so.
You probably do.
Yeah. What do you mean he was inhaling? He had an inhaler, or he just drank it quickly, or he did a line of
He was
water?
like sniffing the bottle.
It was probably smelling salts, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was smelling salts. This is so we've proven that Jake is just witch hunting. This is sad. Sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs to go after the GOAT like this. All right, Jake, your cool throne.
My cool throne's Adam Schefter. He
Yeah.
did his Kirk Cousins impersonation and it went viral.
He looked good.
Real
He looks
good.
really
I look
good.
like you, Jake.
Shefty.
I got so
yeah.
many tags.
Yeah. No, he looked good. Like
Yeah.
I was proud of Shefty.
Yeah.
Because he took his shirt off, and that's not easy to do in front of national television, and he looked good.
Nipples were out and everything.
Booger was mean to you again.
Yeah, Booker's just mean to
What'd
me.
Booger
It's just,
do?
he just is like, if you stopped eating donuts, you could maybe look like this.
So the thing about Schefter is he's really come out of his shell in the last few years, which I'm proud of him for doing.
Yes.
He's showed, because before I think he was like a robot.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, he's got a little bit of a personality. I just think that, I don't know, I might become a chain guy, because like Kirk Cousins looks awesome in a chain. We thought he was a dork. Adam Schefter, also a dork, looks great in a chain. I think that chains can they can turn anybody into a sex symbol.
Yeah. I'm a Spanx guy now.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm wearing Spanx. You know who? Someone tipped me off at LSU. I don't want to reveal it because he probably doesn't want to say that he's a Spanx guy. But yeah, I'm a Spanx guy now. Keeps everything tight.
Brandon Walker.
You like that? No, it wasn't Brandon Walker. Spanx. It's like an undershirt, but it's a little tighter.
Shaq?
No.
I bet you Shaq's a Spanx guy.
Yeah, he probably is.
He's definitely a Spanx guy.
Yeah, you're probably intimidated now.
He's ripped.
Shaq? Why?
Have you seen him recently?
He
His
makes
name is
so
literally
much money.
Diesel.
Yeah, maybe he is.
He's jacked right now.
I don't,
Okay.
I think he's just big, but I mean, that man, he eats.
He does eat. He loves to eat. Okay, let's do Ryan Whitney. Ryan Whitney, also a little fun Easter. We did a bonus lottery ball machine, so you'll get one there, see if Hank wins. And there's a bonus Easter egg because we recorded it last week, so you get to hear Max cheering for a Phillies home run in Game 3. So that's fun. PFT?
Yeah, before we get to Ryan Whitney, I want to talk to you about Chevy. I love Chevy. We're starting to see pretenders and contenders emerging this NFL season. There's one player that's never a pretender and always a contender. That player is the Chevy Silverado. Silverado shows up week in and week out. Unstoppable grit, unstoppable determination. Chevy Silverado is the ultimate tailgate flex with the available multi-flex tailgate and power outlet built right into the bed. And the first ever ZR2 is the ultimate off-road machine. From tailgates and stadium lots to off-road adventures, Silverado has you covered. The all-new Chevy Silverado is a beautiful, beautiful truck. Head over to Chevy.com. Learn more about the Chevy Silverado. Here is Ryan Whitney.
Okay. We now welcome on our good friend, recurring guest Hall of Famer.
One of the very first
HOFer?
guests in the history of Part of My Take. Well, no, we need to put that to a vote.
Wait.
Big Cat got a little over
No.
his skis on that.
Oh,
If we
excuse
were
me?
going Hall of Fame, I think Hank once looked it up, and I think Whitney is top 5 appearances.
Top
is he
5.
Not?
Oh my! I thought you
No,
were
in
say
terms
top
of
3.
No. I'm saying in terms of most appearances
Yeah,
in
so
the
I-
7-year history. Of
I
the
know. I
show.
would say this is my 17th.
What, you
That's-
just made that up.
I was gonna say 7. Added
'cause
se-
I said
added
7
10.
'cause you're
No,
pigeon
I'd say
brain.
I'd say including times on with Biz and you maybe the time you guys came on our show. The
Yeah.
one I've come on your show 10 and you've come on ours once. Thanks a lot. I would say
We never get invited.
Yeah,
I didn't think I'd be any lower
been
than
invited
third.
one time, and I think I went on that
Hey,
one time. I'm
who's-
batting 1,000.
Who shows up to all these streams whenever Grinnell? I know Grinnell. I know what you're doing too. You're having Grinnell text me instead of you text me, and then so it's like I feel bad.
well, you know why? I don't want to be the guy that only texts someone when they need something.
Right.
Big cat.
Yeah, I rectified that. I did rectify that.
Well, you called yourself out, so I
Yeah,
had to
no,
say it.
I texted Dan Heron. I've been texting him too much. Like I've been sending him a meme a
So if
day.
he were to look at the message from you, it's just like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah,
what
no,
do you
I-
think about coming on?
Dude, anytime I see anything Lakers related, I just send it to him. He's probably so annoyed that he ever said that.
Yeah, you're like, I'll text this guy into oblivion right
Yes,
now just to
yes.
make sure.
I'll get it.
I think if we just go based purely on the numbers, it is probably like you, Mr. Portnoy, Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah, maybe.
What a duo
Marlins
to be
man,
compared with. What I mean, those four guys. Mr.
Legends.
Portnoy. Is Lenny Dykstra in prison?
No.
No,
Okay, he's out.
he hasn't been in jail in like 2 years.
Over 2
Marlins
years.
man and me. That's a hell of a crew right there.
That's you hide your girl when that crew.
You're
comes
probably
to
the best hockey player amongst those.
So first time I remember coming on the first time because I started listening to your show. I remember where I was first episode I ever listened to when it was a
Was it
cluster.
before you were in Barstool?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
still
for
playing
sure.
hockey.
I want to say
In Sweden?
Chicklets had. Wow, no, I wasn't playing hockey when your guys' show started.
Because we texted when you were in Sweden, I remember, your last year of your career.
We'll have to go back to the date.
You hadn't started
No, I was
yet.
just saying, what's the first episode when the audio was a joke and I think Long came on?
Yeah.
When was that?
Chris
That
Long.
was, that was the second.
March.
Of
Yeah,
what
the first
year?
ever episode.
2016.
2016.
Okay, I was retired.
Oh.
And Chicklets actually began, I think we had, RA and I had already done an episode maybe. We might have beat you guys when we began.
No,
Don't.
don't
Okay, maybe we
start
were,
this.
maybe we were
Don't start this.
17.
This is
Maybe we were
fucking-
17.
Such a
Not-
rewriting. You know what?
Hold on, I started
you're
telling this
turning
story.
into Will Compton
I
right
started
now.
telling this.
That's what you're doing.
I started telling this story to compliment you guys. So don't interrupt me by calling me Will Compton for Christ's sake. I don't wear those New
That's the
Balances.
meanest thing you can say.
Yeah,
I don't
you
wear
have
those
to get
that shitty dad bought outfit of yours. I love Will. So I remember listening to the first episode. Then I remember you asked me to go on before my first, our oldest was born, and I remember just sitting in my room and I was bashing basketball. I was giving basketball the boots, and it feels like 20 years ago.
What was
So-
it, Jake? Jake has the exact date. What does it say?
June 8th, 2016.
Yep.
So I'm going to say if we'd never recorded an episode, which I think we already had, we started like January of 17.
You might have done, yeah. So
I think-
I specifically remember because we talked to you and you were asking about Hank and you taught us about gas and beers and chucking nucks down at the spit.
Wow, yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
And
Gas
so-
and beers and chucking nuts. I've never done the second one, but I'll gas a beer.
So that was June 2016. Then I remembered right after that, maybe like 3 weeks after that, I moved up to New York. And this is really before like anybody, like my face wasn't out there at all. I was trying to stay behind the scenes, away from cameras, all that stuff. I get up to New York. I go out to eat. And the very first restaurant that I go to here in New York, when I moved here in June, the waiter comes up to me and he's wearing a gas and beers and chuck and nuck shirt.
No shit.
And I was like, what the fuck? We probably sold like 10 of
spit.
those. Yeah.
You're
But-
like, I made it.
yeah. And then I was
Or
like,
did I make it? That's
Yeah.
kind of, I guess it's your
you
show.
made,
No, you
it.
made it.
I made it through
You
you
made it.
guys.
No,
You
no,
made
you
it.
made it.
We made it popular.
Yeah, we popularized.
But now
it.
you guys have a cheesesteak,
We
and now
sold
we have the vodka. It's kind of
Yeah, so
crazy where
actually-
things have gone, boys.
That was going to be my first question for you. Is like, can you educate us on how to sell out properly? Because you've done it.
What you do is you get a fan base and you say all these things to gain that fan base, and then if somebody offers you money to say different things that go against what you said to get the fan base, you're willing to say.
Oh,
it.
we're
It's
done.
no
That's
problem. So you
we
guys,
do
you
that
guys
every time.
you guys jumped the shark along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time
Oh
ago.
yeah. And
You
it's,
guys,
you know what?
You guys are bigger sellouts than me. The only real, actually,
I
talk
don't
about
know.
sellouts.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Zach Wilson already gone. For
Oh
the guy from Texas?
yes.
I listen to the shows, boys.
It
This
was-
is fucking the biggest sellout right here.
Wait, how did I sell?
Wait,
You
wait,
threw him under
You'd
the bus.
rather the guy
Hold on,
Ellinger
Billy.
who
I
started
didn't-
one
I
game.
didn't-
You said he'd be.
And I gave him
he'd be
a
in
take
Jets.
back.
I know you gave him a take
I
back.
gave him a fair, because sometimes we say things and we
Billy.
don't realize it. I gave him a fair take back, and he said no.
Try to say that you didn't say if you could choose, you chose Ellinger. You did.
I gave you
That's
the
not
take
a
back
guy.
option. You didn't
What?
do it.
Look
What?
at what I said. I said I just would prefer less interceptions.
No, Billy.
No,
you-
no, no, no,
Billy,
no, no,
Billy,
Billy,
the
Billy,
question was
Billy,
very
never-
simple.
Billy,
because
this is like-
I intentionally asked this question to put you inside that
Yeah,
little.
you know you
inside
made
your
him
own
answer.
brain. I made you answer, and you said Sam Ellinger, and then Big Cat offered you an emergency parachute.
The whole
and
room
you said
went,
no,
yeah.
fuck
The
it.
whole room stopped.
Yeah, because and to be
So you're
to
a
be fair to
sellout.
Billy.
No one's giving me any money, so I'm not a
What?
sellout.
So to be fair to Billy, I think Billy doesn't love Sam Ellinger as much as he loves his own take that he thinks that Sam Ellinger.
Oh, and he
will be a
also
good
knows Zach
quarterback.
Wilson stinks.
Yeah, that's what he's realizing. No,
What about
but,
you,
No, but
by
those
the way?
balls he hasn't learned to throw away correctly.
Right,
So-
right. What about you? Where I know we grill Hank all the time, but is Mac your guy?
No.
Okay,
I would say I would. It's
the guy right
really
now.
hard to
He's
talk.
the guy right now.
It's really hard to talk about that team after the 20 years, and it's just like that's a fact.
Hank's struggling
But
with it.
what I see in championship quarterbacks, it's just he doesn't even come
not
close
there.
to that. So to me,
second
it's
year,
like to win a Super Bowl, he's not even not even close to that. But there's only like 4 guys who are, so it's
Yeah, that's true.
And none of
I
them.
mean, your guy sucks.
No, he doesn't.
No,
No,
you're
he
on a
doesn't.
bit. Your guy sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Your guy sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Your
You're
guy,
wrong. You're wrong.
Your guy lit up the Patriots.
wrong.
The Patriots make bad QBs look great. It's
and
like a known
and
thing.
he also
He stinks.
lit up
Wait,
the
is that-
Cowboys.
Is that a known thing?
They
I'm
lost
pre-
by 20.
I'm pretty sure
He
Belichick's
lit 'em
like
up.
34-3 against rookie quarterbacks or something like that.
I didn't say rookies. I said bad quarterbacks lately. Maybe, let's say the last 2 years since Brady left. The Patriots make bad QBs look pretty good.
That they might just be a bad
Garoppolo.
team.
No, I
Wait,
don't
so
think.
then
I don't
what
think
does
they're a
that make
great. I don't
Zach
think they're a great
Wilson?
team.
What does that make Zach Wilson? He's worse
Really
than
bad.
Yeah, really bad.
Really shit.
No, but you
Wait,
missed. You missed.
Oh,
the
yeah, the
stat.
most. Yeah, the most yards.
He had the most yards in a loss
Yeah,
against
six,
the Patriots.
Six stat.
Ever.
6 stat.
As a Jets quarterback, even in wins.
It's like a biz stat. Like, oh, I got laid last night, but I was like the ninth guy to bang that girl. It's like 6 stat, dude.
All right, so Whit, we got to talk some hockey. Let's pretend that the hockey season starts this week.
Hockey's buzzing, boys.
Is it?
You have a
Really?
lot more listeners than you think. I've
I
had a
know.
lot of tweets like, "Where's a hockey preview?" So
Well, we like
you're
to
finally
do,
showing some respect.
yeah, we like to do our previews like a week or two late, maybe a month late. I think we did our MLB preview in like June. We haven't done our NBA preview.
That's
so
when
this
baseball
is,
starts.
So we're doing our hockey preview before our NBA preview. It's just football is king. So and we
Yep.
like hockey,
Yep.
but football is king.
No, football's king, and also it helps me as the guy who's going to do the preview. In terms of I can already say some things that have happened.
Right.
I don't have to be completely wrong about
Right,
everything.
right. We're giving you a
Go to
a
Spit and
bonus.
Chicklets to hear
yeah,
that.
Yeah, Spit and Chicklets has it all, but let's pretend we know nothing about the NHL. Obviously, we know everything, but
Yeah.
let's just pretend. Who's good?
Stanley Cup champs. All right, so are we going as the season hasn't began?
No, let's just
Because now the Avs are like not doing great.
So tell me about the season as it stands now. If you want to roast Jake's power rankings that he did of every sport, that might be good too. So Jake
What
ranked
is it?
all, was it 120, how many teams? 124 teams in every major sport, and he ranked them all on the same list. So in
Of
your
the
wait.
second half of the bottom 62, how many of them are NHL teams? If you say 20,
Let's not
I
get.
think a decent amount. I'll
Yeah,
count
all
them.
right. Let's
hockey
go
fans
back
were
to
not
this because
happy
that's
with
something that's like 20 minutes of discussion that he's
Yeah, I
gonna
don't wanna
get
get
sidetracked
rattled.
with.
but
He's gonna
based
get-
but based on his thing, you have the Avalanche as the number one team still, Jake.
No, I had the Lightning in front of them.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Lightning. So the Lightning, they're still number one?
also pretend that we tape this.
The
in-
Avs are number one. This is the most fucked up preview. It's
No,
like,
no, no,
all
no,
right,
no. Wait, I'm gonna help you. Today is September 15th. We just haven't run it until November. See, now we're
Yeah,
geniuses.
okay.
Now we're fucking geniuses.
Hey, I'm in. I'm in.
Avs might
Colorado are the dogs.
They might start slow.
I could see the Avs being like 5-5 through 10 games, guys. I really could.
No, let's just go from right now.
I will say the Avs have had a little bit of a tough start. Actually, right now, the lowest amount of goals scored 5-on-5 in the NHL are the Avs.
That's crazy.
But Landeskog's out. He had surgery. They're battling injuries. They lost Kadri. Big loss. Everyone knows Nazem Kadri signed with Calgary. It's still the Avs league. If you look at it's like having Makar, having McKinnon, their entire forward unit, the D, they are going to be right there looking to repeat. There's no doubt. Doesn't matter. If you talk to me after 50 games and they're still 500, I might be worried, but beginning of the season, no worries. After that, it's wide open. Now, I'm an Oilers guy. I don't know if you saw me shave Bissonnette's head in Edmonton.
Yep.
After we won the Battle of Alberta. They are a special team. They brought in Campbell from Toronto as their goalie, but right now the Stuart Skinner kid, he's kind of stealing the job. So Edmonton with McDavid and Leon, they could win the Stanley Cup. People think I'm crazy, but they could.
Can Edmonton play defense though? Because I remember watching them in the Stanley Cup. I took every Canadian team last year to win the Stanley Cup, and they just couldn't play defense.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly their strong suit. It isn't, but they lost to the Avs. They got swept. The Avs were crushing everyone. It was they have to get by Colorado. They got to get by Calgary again. It's going to be hard, but I'm just saying Edmonton can win the Stanley Cup, as crazy as that sounds.
Because is McDavid?
Toronto
is he the
can't.
best player in the NHL easily?
He's the best pro athlete right now.
Oh, yes. I
What?
like that take.
No, you're such a guy that's going to chirp this argument.
I'm not. I'm saying I love the take.
Okay, Connor McDavid dominates hockey more than any other athlete in the world dominates their
Shohei
sport.
Ohtani?
Shohei Ohtani's a game changer, but McDavid,
If McDavid
That's
played
actually
goal,
he might be the
Yeah.
biggest challenger. Like people will, try to mention like other sports as in terms of football, basketball, but
no, we
Ohtani does it both sides. That's
yeah,
legit.
we did not give Shohei Ohtani, like, there's a lot of times where people will be like, this guy doesn't get enough publicity for what he's doing. He absolutely didn't get enough because of the Angels.
No. Yeah,
He was like the third best pitcher and one of the best hitters. And it's like stupid. But all right, so Connor McDavid, best player in all of sports right now.
Connor McDavid, the most dominant at his sport.
If he's the most dominant at his sport, then you would figure that they would have won the Stanley Cup.
Good
So
point,
it's not an individual scumbag league like the NBA. You need to have a great team around you. It's not one or two
Well,
guys.
then you can't be the most dominant at your sport.
No. Yes, you can be.
Okay, for the
Yes,
like
you can be.
What about
quarter of the
Giannis?
No,
game that
because
he's
even
on
in the
ice.
playoffs, he was. He doesn't have. He
He can't throw
last
and
year
catch the
and
ball.
maybe
it's
this
harder
year-
to be dominant as an individual in the NHL. That's what I'm saying.
Being dominant and being that good cannot lead you to a cup. The way one or two amazing NBAers can win you an NBA title, it'll never happen in hockey.
If he was so dominant, why does he come off the ice?
It's a good question.
That's something that where if you skate long enough, if you've ever done it, you run out of wind. You can't
Right.
really continue.
NBA
to do
players
it.
don't come off the court.
So
Why
that's
does he
because they
just
that's
improve
because
his
they walk
cardio?
around the court and then their exciting, crazy plays are dunks.
Yeah,
which
why-
is like me putting the trash away in the kitchen.
But why does Big Cat brings up a fair
there's
point.
no course of any of you guys trying to mention that that's similar. It's just you trolling me.
I mean,
won't
Giannis-
stand for
no,
it.
like, Giannis plays
okay,
48 minutes.
What are the longest shifts in the NHL? What's the longest shift you ever played?
So if you get caught in your own zone, you could be out there 2.5
Oh
minutes.
God!
Oh,
Oh,
no.
man, that sounds awful.
Yeah, people don't understand because they don't skate.
like 120
It's
seconds.
almost like people don't get boxing in terms of a 3-minute round is so long. People are
Yeah.
like, 3 minutes. Hockey's kind of similar
Okay,
without
so
the punches to the face.
That's crazy because like in soccer they play for 90 minutes and they don't get a break.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they get one at halftime, but it's 45 minutes at a time.
Some of the most amazing athletes in terms of endurance and wind in
They
the world.
walk
And
are
toughness
players.
and toughness
Basketball
as well.
players are a joke. And you guys both know that. They need their hockey players don't do their what are the days
Load
called?
management.
Load management. Yeah. So don't even start with
Load
that.
management's important. You know.
You guys you bring me in for an NHL preview and you,
All right,
and you-
okay.
and you troll the NHL.
All right,
player.
No.
So we have Connor
That's
McDavid, the most dominant player in the history of any sport at his sport.
Not in the history currently.
But he still hasn't won a Stanley Cup.
Nope.
Okay, so,
So is he a choker?
No.
Well, then he
Just
can't have it- I don't think you
he
can have
has
it both
not-
ways.
You guys, what do you mean you can't have
he's
it
like
both
he's
ways?
Chris Paul.
You know one thing about hockey, he cannot be a choker while being the best player and not have a Stanley Cup yet. That's just how it is. Now I'll tell you this: if his career ends and he never got one, different.
He's a choker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I would say then. That is a valid argument, but being 25 years old, you guys trying to mention that him not having a cup yet means he's not the most
I
dominant,
mean,
shows you guys know absolutely zero about
no,
hockey.
But you said you listened to this show.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
But I
so
don't- but
we
I'm not- I'm not
boiled
gonna-
down every conversation to rings.
Yeah, very true. You guys are ring guys. You guys are greatness guys. But I'm telling you right now, this guy is the top dog.
It's
Until-
mostly just binary. It's do you have at least a ring?
Yeah.
And then if you get one ring, then okay, you can be the greatest.
So no greatest until you have a ring.
You have to have the ring.
All right.
Thank God Ovi got
Yeah,
it.
what's that?
Okay.
Pat Maroon, probably the best hockey player in the NHL
Of
right
all
now.
time.
Well, I mean, he's got what, 3 rings?
3 in a row he did.
Yeah,
And then he
that's-
went to the fourth final.
Yeah, so that's the best hockey player in the
so we're
NHL.
giving Big Rig. We're giving Big Rig.
Yep.
The
Pardon my-
Hart Trophy this year for MVP and the Pardon My Take toilet.
Part of
bowl
my
trophy.
take best
No,
player.
best player in the
current
world.
Best player ever in the world.
He'll come
Now.
on. He'll come on.
I mean, he has the most rings. That seems
guys
like
can present him a
open
trophy.
Shut case. All right, so if Connor McDavid's 1, give us 2 and 3 because it does feel like hockey has like an insane amount of young, awesome talent right now.
Crazy. Hockey's the best it's ever been. Cale Makar's number 2.
He's crazy.
Austin Matthews is number 3. Cale Makar is the Connor McDavid of defense. He almost might be more valuable. According to Wayne Gretzky, ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He says
Business
that
friend?
He says Cale Makar is the best player in the world.
Well, he would be closer to the Shohei
Or-
Ohtani, where it's like he plays defense, but he also scores goals.
Yeah, he scores a bunch of goals. And Nathan McKinnon, who's, say, 4th on that list, 5th maybe, he came on the show and told us that he thinks he'll break every record from any defenseman ever. He'll get 100 points easily one season.
Cale
And-
Makar.
Yeah, and said that this will be the greatest defenseman of all time.
So I
at the
think
end.
he's my greatest. right now.
Even because he's got the ring.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
the ring.
I think he's mine, too.
You also just talked us into it. You did a very poor job defending your take. You're like, well, that's my guy.
very
But
poor
then
job
Wayne
defending what
Gretzky.
take?
Then Wayne Gretzky actually thinks this other guy's better than Conor
The best
McGregor.
ever thinks that this guy's the best ever.
I'm not going to deny the fact that we could have a hell of an argument for a long time over maybe who is better right now.
I don't think we could
because
because I think we just
McCarr
won.
or McDavid. But
And Big Rig.
Whoever you pick, and Big Rig. Big Rig's 3.
3 in a row.
Big
It's pretty hard to do.
He almost got 4 in a row
I
that
know.
second.
And then you know what could happen? Like somebody could come in over the top and be like, I actually think it's Igor.
Oh, yeah, Avery.
Because well, he's a great goalie and he shoots. That's actually a rule change.
What do you mean he shoots?
I want to talk to you about
What
that.
do you mean he shoots?
Why is it an icing if a goalie takes a shot at the end of the game if the other net's pulled?
Because you're shooting it from beyond the red line to the other team's goal line.
They should change. They should change
that's
that
an
rule.
icing. Why would they
the
change it
rule.
for the goalies? All the rules have been changed for the goalies. The goalies, you cannot even
I
go
like
near
this.
a goalie now.
I like this.
You cannot. All these goals now, they get reviewed, they get taken back. You're shocked. The guy's elbow pad just caught the tip of the glove 3 minutes before the defenseman was shooting. No goal. So the goalies have enough rules changed for them to begin with. We're not going to now add that they can shoot at empty netters and not have to pay the consequence of an icing.
So are goalies like quarterbacks of the NFL where it's like the rules have become so far that it's like, come on, guys. You know, like when you see these
It's
late
not
hits.
that obvious.
Okay.
It's not that bad. Where now it's like pathetic.
Yeah.
It's not even football in some senses of tackling the QB. The goalie, though, I'll compare it to the quarterback in that the most important position.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And so what are other rules? Because this is good. We need rules like in the NFL. You know, you can just walk into any bar and be like, they made it impossible to play defense. You know, like these guys, they have no chance. What's the rule that has changed in the NHL that's made it very hard for a certain position group?
I would say it's hardest on defensemen now. You used to be able to kind of hold up a guy, so if a guy's forechecking, you just try to run over your other defensive partner. You could kind of pick him, but it's been a while since you can't do that. It's pretty fair now to everyone, though. The goalies are protected a little bit more, but the calls are made for defensemen the same as forwards, where they've figured out a way. Sometimes there's way too many penalties called.
Yeah.
But in terms of that, not one player is being awarded, like forward or defenseman, any sort of advantage. Maybe the goalie's a little. The only problem I think most NHL fans would have is you review goals, always around the net goals, and you never know if it's going to be goal or no goal. Like, you just have no idea which way they're going to lean that night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I hear the announcers get that wrong too all the time.
All
They're
the
like,
time.
I think this is going to be a good goal. And
these
who
guys
knows?
know what they're talking about when they're wrong that often. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, so I have an actual serious hockey question about goalies too. If you look at the guys that switch teams in the offseason, a lot of times they're like, okay, this guy had a proven track record where he was. We're bringing him in. We're going to see if he can help our defense. Is there any sort of like a adjustment period for a goalie playing behind a new, whether it's like a system of defense or like just adjusting to a team, or is it pretty much the net and the crease never changes?
I would lean towards that without having any experience in that department. I would lean towards, like, it's your job to just make the save. I think teams playing different structures might affect you a little bit at the beginning, but goalies are, yeah, exactly. The crease is the same. It's like the Hoosiers, you know, they're measuring the net.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Just stop the puck.
So we talked about the Avalanche, talked about the Oilers. What other teams either are surprising you so far? The Blackhawks kind of surprising.
Yeah, the Blackhawks are kind of screwing themselves, though, a little
I
bit.
know, because it's a rebuild.
The
but
Blackhawks
they're-
are...
Is Kane going to get traded?
That's a tough one. I would say yes, and they made it sound like it would happen at some point during the year, but when you've been a legend somewhere for that long, like it maybe I always say, oh, I'd want to chase another cup. I don't even have one. But maybe somebody like that has his 3, he's been there his whole life, doesn't really want to go anywhere. They'd be probably smart to trade him.
I feel like, though, he's young enough that he's like 33, 34 years old. Like, he's young enough that he probably wants to play playoff hocky.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. He's still young enough to be so good.
Right.
On another team.
And I'll root
It's like,
for him wherever he goes.
Oh yeah, he's the best American to ever play, I think. But with the Blackhawks, it's like this is probably one of the stronger drafts they've seen in a long, long time. So you just want to get that in that lottery.
Right.
There's like 3 legit. There's a Russian, a kid at Michigan, and then the big guy is this kid Connor Bedard. You want to get one of those.
So they gotta trade Taves and Kane.
Yeah. I think they will. And it's been 9-10 games. Like they're looking good right now, but in the end they'll be they'll be one of the weaker teams in the league.
I also think everyone understands it because he almost got traded last year, where it's like, if you want to be good again, you have to make the hard decisions.
You got.
And the past is the past. And
it's over. It's
right.
That's like the business. It sucks as a fan base because, or even as somebody who played in Chicago before they were good and the crowd was nuts and there was 6,000 people there.
Right.
And we've had guys come on Chicklets and tell stories of being able to like talk to their kids in the crowd.
Right.
and now it's probably heading back towards that after being I'd say the best atmosphere in the league for 10, 15 years.
And basically every game was, nationally televised. Remember, it was like
Packed.
a joke. The NBA,
Oh, yeah, they
there
had
was used to be
every
a
NBC
meme.
game.
It was like NBC's
Yep.
schedule, and it was just like the Blackhawks versus like everyone.
Yep.
But yeah, so all right, so what about in the
In the East?
East? Yeah.
So before the year, everyone was worried Boston was missing Marchand and Charlie McAvoy apparently till like Thanksgiving. Well, Marchand's already back. McAvoy's coming back real soon, and they're the best team in the league. So it's kind of the last dance thing. They re-signed Bergeron 1 year. They re-signed Krejci back from Czech Republic, who used to be there. And I think them getting rid of their coach, who's in Vegas now, guys were sick of him. Guys weren't big fans of him. So Krejci, I don't think, comes back if he's still the coach. And then there's the guy DeBrusque, who asked for a trade. Now he doesn't want to be traded because he's not the coach. So the Bruins are in probably their last chance to get another one.
With that core.
They have one. They've been to 3 finals. They look top of the league right now, enough to where as long as they stay healthy, which is a big if, they'll be in the hunt at the end of the year.
So you bring up coaches. I got a question I've always thought about the NHL. Why does John Tortorella keep getting jobs even though everyone hates him?
Everyone doesn't hate him though.
But it feels like every former player hates him.
No, they don't. They have stories of times they hated him, but if you talk to the more people we talk to that played for Torts, like him,
really
than dislike him. They say at times he's an absolute motherfucker, but you see Philly, who has a roster that's like bottom 5 to 10 in the league, they're playing well because this guy just gets people to buy in, and he makes you competitive even if the team's roster isn't great, and he's doing that already. But it is crazy. There is complaints from hockey fans everywhere of this old boys club where the same guys get hired and fired, and he's one of them that's just. I don't know. He's probably coached six teams now, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but the guys I talked to in Philly, they say so far they like him, but he's nuts.
Yeah. Is it one of the situations where even when he gets over the top nuts that he is uniting the team behind like, fuck this guy?
I think he's willing to be like that. He'd go in the locker room, according to past stories, like, all right, guys, I don't want one person to try to make an offensive play tonight. We're just going to dump the puck in, go grind them out, and if anyone's in our crease, all 5 guys go in there and punch them in the head. And if we lose 5-0, you can motherfuck me in my office if you want to. Like he's a nut.
Yeah.
He's
So,
torts.
Sometimes you gotta mix it up over the course of a season and do some crazy shit like that.
Yeah,
just to keep people interested.
And he looks that we can't outscore teams. So let's just try to beat guys 1-0, get good goaltending. We'll block. His big thing is blocking shots. Doesn't matter if you're the star player or the grunt 7th defenseman. If you're not blocking shots, you're not playing.
So what about another coach who I don't think is coaching right now, Mike Babcock? Is he? He's
Babcock.
another one that people motherfucker.
Yeah,
but he's a good coach.
People really hate him.
But he's a really good coach.
He was a very good coach. I think people talk about like preparation and preparing to go against other teams in playoff series. Top notch, one of the best. But stories came, talking to guys who play for him in Detroit and Toronto, just not a great guy.
Really?
And then in the time of age that we're in now where
you have to be more of a player's coach.
Yeah, you say certain things now, you're getting fired, and the way he treated guys ended up getting him kind of canceled, I'll say.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Well, like this guy Johan Franzen, who's an amazing player in Detroit for a long time, kind of came out and talked about some of the shit he said to him that was just way over the line. And, stories come out where guys just didn't like him as a person. But he can coach. I think he'll be back in the NHL at some point. I don't know if he even wants to be. He was coaching college hockey in Canada. He quit that job before the season. Who knows? But he's proven that he gets, the most out of teams. I think I'll tell you a quick story. There was during the minors, during the lockout, a bunch of the NHL guys were down in the AHL. This is 2005, and he's coaching Cincinnati, I guess. And there was a call up from the East Coast League, and they're playing a game in Anaheim at where the Ducks play, which is Cincinnati's their farm team. and they're going up. Maybe some Ducks fans can see some prospects play a game as the season's canceled. And the kid from the coast is called up, big deal to be playing in the AHL, and he's standing there. He's looking over the ice before the game, and Babcock came out and just told him, "This is the last time you'll ever step foot in an NHL rink." So it's just things like that, stories like that come out. It's like, just
why he's such a dick?
Is that
Like,
not-
was he
is that-
right,
is
though?
not- Is that not a dick move?
Was he right?
Maybe he was, but
No,
it's like,
then it's not as much of a dick
no,
move.
it still is.
But if
you
he was
sound like
right-
you sound like Portnoy right now. That's a dick move.
Some guys say that to motivate you, but if you just say it just to be an asshole, then that's a different story.
But he
Yeah,
won,
like,
you
if
know,
the
he won
guy
a Stanley Cup.
sucked,
Won a
yeah.
Stanley Cup.
All right, so if he sucked, he sucked. Who's the best coach in the NHL right now?
Right now, best coach. I got to give it to John Cooper.
Yeah.
With what they did the past 3 years and the way he kind of communicates with guys, he's at another level. I would say he's right there. I think Montgomery in Boston, he had some off-ice issues that had him get fired in Dallas, where they had a really good team a few years ago, and then he was the assistant for a bit in St. Louis, and he was a head coach that should have already been there for a while, but now Boston has him. They look this good. Everyone loves that guy. And the best coach may be not even coaching, and that's Barry Trotz.
Yeah.
Your boy,
I love Barry.
who there's crazy rumors now. Toronto's struggling a little bit, and
They should hire him.
so he came out and said, "I want to coach an original six team."
They should hire him. They actually should.
And we went. He's going the rounds. He's doing a couple different podcasts. I'd love to get him on Chicklets.
That sucks.
He said, "I want to coach an original six team."
Actually, can we let's get him on part of my take
Yeah.
before he goes on Chicklets.
That'd be a dirty move.
Yeah, that would be a scumbag move.
Would it be a scumbag move?
Oh, Harper just went yard.
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
We're gonna run this
Let's
after the
go.
World Series.
No, this will be like
Shit.
this will be the next like preview of the MLB 2023 season.
Yeah. That was so perfect. People
Yeah.
are gonna be like,
They're
"What
like,
the fuck are they talking
Especially
about?"
when Houston wins a
the
series.
Yeah, the Astros won 4-1.
What was it? Oh, so Trotz. So he came on and said, "I want to coach an original six team." Well, Boston, Detroit, Montreal all have coaches they kind of just recently hired. New York's coach isn't going anywhere, and Chicago, they have
They just
Richardson.
got-
They just got a guy.
Got-
So
you
it's
just
like
knew.
he knows Toronto will be the one.
Yeah.
That's
So you loved him, right?
I loved
know
him.
you played for him. You had a big role in that
Listen,
cup.
I certainly did. I love Barry Trotz. I was so mad when we didn't re-sign him. That was the stupidest move of all time.
That
And-
was dumb.
Listen, with Barry, there's definitely there's a fuse on him. You know, like the clock starts ticking, and eventually guys start to tune him out a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't let him do much offensively, which guys just hate.
And I think he'd be a great coach based
could
on
fix
what little
Toronto,
I know.
maybe.
Listen, I would I give my highest letter of recommendation to Barry Trotz for what it's worth. I know you think that they stink right now. I think your exact words were the Leafs legit stink.
Yeah, they do. They do. But Biz made a guarantee, which that means a lot. That Trotz will be the coach by March or some shit. I don't know
Wow.
what he said.
what.
I think Biz just has thoughts, and then he thinks those thoughts are.
And then he
guaranteed.
says his thoughts, but then you forget about the thing like think before you speak.
Yeah, he
then that's
guarantees
how
a
he
lot
gets
of stuff.
circumcised.
Yeah, he was going
Right.
to get. He doesn't come through any bet. Mm-hmm. He backs out
Well, he
of.
did
like,
shave his head.
well, I shaved his head.
Yeah. All right. So give us two teams that when we're talking hockey, we can be like, watch out for this team. That no one's gonna. People are like, oh shit, you guys are real puckheads.
So I've
Are we
been on-
puck bunnies?
No, puck boys.
We're puck boys.
If you guys don't want to be puck bunnies.
I'd be a puck bunny. Fuck
Nah, you're too big. So I'll say I've been on these guys since the end of last year, really leaning into this year. The Buffalo Sabres. Things are changing in Buffalo. Things are changing, and Jack Eichel, who's lighting it up in Vegas, they're 8-2. They're flying. He's a hell of a player, but there was so much baggage and drama there. It ended. They got a couple really good players in for him, and they've taken off. And they have the youngest team in the NHL. I would say they have like 6 legit studs that are under the age of 24.
Wow.
So they're going to
Maybe
be
Kane goes
and,
there.
and they've already started off. That was my call.
Yeah.
That was my call last year. Everyone said I'm an idiot. When Kane goes to Buffalo, remember who you heard it from first?
Me.
Whitty.
Well, I just
Oh no,
said
Puck Bunny Big Cat.
All right, that's
And,
one team. Give us
okay,
another.
I'm trying to give like
Yeah.
not the obvious.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh, you guys don't know puck. If we're like, yeah, watch out for the Lightning and the Avalanche.
Shit, this is kind of boring because I bet you not many Dallas Stars fans are listening, but seems to be they have kind of something going there. Peter DeBoer's the coach. He's a new coach. He's been to the Cup final as the coach of the Devils, the Sharks, maybe another one, but he's had a lot of success. Their roster's kind of weird where they have some overpaid veterans like Sagan and Ben. They're still really good, but they're maybe not worth like what their salaries are. But then they got younger guys that are studs. So Dallas is a sleeper team.
I like that.
Okay. What about you talked about the last dance for the Bruins? I was told last year was the last dance for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's not.
It wasn't the last dance. So how many more dances does Sidney Crosby have?
I think they're on a 3-year window. I believe that Malkin and Letang signed for 4 years, maybe. That was the question: was where were they going to go? Where were those two going to go? They both re-signed. Sid talked to Malkin all summer. They got 1, 2, maybe 3 years here to get it done. They looked great to start, but they've been struggling since.
How much? I'm looking right now. Letang is through 2027, 28. So
they both got signed 4 or 5 year
Yeah.
deals. Mm-hmm. But I would say even at the age, it's like 2-3 more years max for those guys.
Oh, here's a question that you'll be able to answer. With the Russian gas supply coming to the United States now, has that been affected by the war in Ukraine at all? Are they able to ship over?
I never
the
never
steroids?
had or experienced or heard of anyone having Russian gas over here. I saw that shit up close and personal in Russia, in Sochi, in these rinks I traveled around in the KHL, these dumps, Dynamo, Moscow, Severstal, just these absolute shitholes. That's where I saw the Russian gas. It's never been over here.
Has there been any curtailing of the black card that a lot of the Russian players get?
That's a biz thing. He's talked a lot about the black card that's given out, but those were jokes about Putin, who turns out to be pretty big scumbag.
I think
so
scumbag.
I try not to talk about.
Major,
I try not to talk
Putin,
about.
major pigeon.
Yeah, he's not exactly the guy I want to be talking about on Pardon My Take. So you can fucking bring him up if you want to.
Okay, so this is good. We got some good stuff to go from. Give us your conference finals and Stanley Cup final.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
And then Jake, did you pull up your sheet? I want you to comment after that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go Bruins over Rangers to get to the Cup final.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
I think the Avs, unfortunately, will probably beat the Oilers again in the Western Conference final. And I'm picking the Avs to win again.
Okay.
If the Bruins played the Avs and they were all healthy, it'd be sick hockey. But I'm going Avs again. I picked the Lightning to go back-to-back, and they did.
So Connor McDavid chokes again is the headline coming out of this. The best player ever.
You can run with that. I'm not saying.
I'm going Sabres over Stars.
Okay,
Something about
my
us
two
seeing
sleepers.
those two
No
teams,
shit.
yeah.
I think it's
You know hockey.
I would
Thank
agree
you.
with Big Cat, but something about Buffalo being good at two sports at once just doesn't seem realistic.
Hey,
to me.
everything,
only two sports, yeah.
every storyline has to change at some point.
That's true.
Very true.
Unless you're a Commanders fan.
That's very true.
That's true.
Well, I was a Caps fan. That changed. Oh, Ovi. So is Ovi going to get the record? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Definitely is.
Yep.
What about
Definitely.
No, I said definitely.
What is it about the shot? Because seems like he's been scoring the same goal for
It's a joke.
15
it's like,
years.
If you watched hockey but never played hockey, it would be even more confusing. Like, why don't you guys know he's getting a one-timer at the top of the circle?
Right.
But you have to cover other guys, and then you're like, hopefully the goalie can make the save, and sometimes, or
Most
somehow,
times.
most times, he finds some sort of corner or hole in the goalie, and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's a joke.
This is a different question on who's going to win, but when we have like Paul Rabel in and we talk to him about lacrosse and like that's a different level, but like our hockey guys, do they ever get pissed when they see how much money the other sports players make? No,
I think hockey players are pretty fired up to be making what they are
where
right
it's
now.
come back to.
Well, yeah, like now it's pretty legit. Now you see these. The NBA stuff to me is so funny because you hear a guy, you hear a name, you've never heard the name, you've never seen him play, you've never seen a highlight, and he's making 12.5. It's like it's just,
Even more,
but
yeah.
hockey, more. But hockey players, they just understand that. It's like, why would you get mad about what they're making? That's the amount of money that has to go around in that league. It's just you get a little jealous, I'd say, but.
Okay.
I mean, hockey's going up, and
yeah,
the cap,
salary cap going up.
yeah, going up. They said most likely like $4 million next year.
Hell
and,
yes.
And maybe by the time, I don't know, maybe 10 years, it's up from right now like 10, 12 million. So guys are making a lot. They're going to continue to make a lot. The one group of guys are the stars in the 80s and early 90s.
They get pissed,
which I understand a little
Yeah.
bit. It's
That
just
happens in every
sucks.
sport,
That sucks.
though.
Where a guy who. Maybe not Hall of Famers, but close to it. They're still working now. It's just Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, it happened every sport. You're
Think
right.
about like I'm gonna look up right now. I wonder what like Joe Montana made in his entire
Well, no,
career.
it'll be like his biggest year will be like 1.3 million, but you got to also think of
yeah.
he's
Then
the
he sees-
highest paid player. Then it doesn't.
And then
Joe
wait,
Montana made $25 million playing football.
And
Patrick
Mahomes makes 50
like
this year.
50 a year.
yeah, that's why Montana's doing like every commercial ever now.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
would
exactly.
On the other
would
end
piss
of
me
it.
off.
Exactly.
That
That
would
would-
piss me off a little. It wouldn't piss me off that Mahomes is making that. It pissed me off that like someone else was making.
It's the
like
guy-
a not a good quarterback was making like $20 million a year.
It's defensemen who maybe played a long time and had hell of a careers that saw like guys like me signing a 6-year deal for 24
What
million.
was your
They're
what was
like,
your final
what the-
earnings?
I'd probably say like 29-ish, including Russia, like 48-ish. No, I'm just kidding. 20,
Food.
29.
That's why I won't bash food.
29, 30.
Oh man,
I want to look up
now.
like what the baseball players were paid on average in like '94, right before the strike, when everybody was like these greedy fucks going on strike.
Yeah, and they weren't making shit.
And then you look at what they're making right now, and it's
Yeah,
because
baseball
they went on that
players
Dude,
Stop.
you're gonna be
Yeah.
40 soon.
February.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't care. I feel young.
Have
Yeah?
you
I don't
taken
look young, and my body sometimes doesn't feel young, but my mind feels super young.
Have you taken any steps to improve your shot to compete with Frank the Tank?
What shot?
Your center ice shot. Frank the Tank nailed his.
I've only done one once, and the Blackhawks gave me a broken stick. They completely shriveled me. So,
That was Biz. That was Biz for sure.
this.
No, I'm saying
guy,
Biz probably made a call.
No, because he still thinks I'm lying, but the stick was broken. RA and Biz hit it. You don't think I could if I
Yeah,
had a
that's
stick
what I'm
that was
saying.
working?
That sounds
Frank-
like Biz did that.
Frank the Tank made his.
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't
true.
know that. I actually didn't know that.
What's your golf game right now? I don't know if you saw. I shot a
Season.
72. It's
I
Shinnecock.
saw that. That was sick.
Dude, no big deal.
Yeah, you just had it going that day?
I shot a 132 the next week.
That's golf, though.
That's golf. That's golf.
Peaks and valleys.
I watched
baby.
one
Peaks
YouTube
and
video,
valleys.
screwed up my swing, fucked everything up.
No, then yeah, you were putting lights out at Shinnecock. I
Yeah.
heard. Yeah,
Oh, I
thanks
hit
to your
everything.
caddy.
Yeah.
Golf's great. This is a tough time of year for your boy. It's season's coming to an end.
Yeah.
Although it's easier to dive just all into chicklets. You know, you guys are working so much. I'm not exactly a workaholic, I'd say, as you two are.
Yeah.
So when golf ends, at least I don't mind working a lot more because I can't.
You work
golf
to
anyways.
live. You don't live to work.
Oh yeah, I'd say that'd be a good description.
Yeah.
What's on your rider when you check into a hotel? If like Spittin' Chicklets is going somewhere and you guys they're setting up a room for you.
He demanded
Oh, we've
gum
never
from
had
all of
that.
us.
Peanut butter. No, not peanut butter. Peanut M&Ms.
Peanut butter's better.
No, I like peanut.
Nah. That's
High
it.
Noon and Pink Whitney. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not as much of a diva as some may think. PFT.
Have you considered? I just watched back. It was Labor Day weekend. I was flying back from Louisiana, and I watched the Danbury Trashers documentary, The Untold Story on
Yeah.
Netflix.
The one from like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
that
Dave
they
just
put-
found
yeah,
out
It's
about it.
incredible. Yeah,
It's
I
great.
mean, I just watched it Labor Day weekend,
great.
and it blew my mind.
It's unreal. We had a couple of the guys on the show.
So, have you considered like the Pink Whitneys would be a great unaffiliated minor league hockey team?
Biz and I have talked about an East Coast League team. He even mentioned like the possibility of one in Colorado. So don't sleep on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
You might be.
Can we
onto
coach
something.
a game?
No.
It's fucked up.
No, because you'll be like, who won a ring in high school? You're the starter.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the GOAT. You won the high school state D3 championship.
All right.
Jake, what's
Yeah,
this
but here's my
list?
last question. Rowback question. Use promo code TAKE for 20% off first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, everything. Rowback is the best. So, Jake, yeah, so what PFT said. PFT, you introduce it. So it was.
Oh no,
yeah.
Jake made power rankings 1 through 124 of every single team.
How long did that take you?
Few hours.
It's a great list because it gets you so mad. Like, I looked at it. I was like, the Cubs are 75?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And he's doing this, but he has like the Rangers
The
at
Patriots
18.
are in the top 10.
no,
No.
it's like right now. People actually said I had them too high. I had them in the 20s.
Oh, so this is like what, today? So, well,
Today,
this
but,
show's
like,
coming
a
out in
few
8
years.
months. So,
We're never airing this.
But like recent championships help you. That's why I have the Lightning at number 2.
Yeah, the Lightning is number 2
Overall.
overall in all sports.
You show them the graphic. Yeah.
wait, so am I.
So
who-
the Golden
who's-
State Warriors are number 1,
Really?
Tampa Bay Lightning number 2.
This
then-
must have made people go ballistic.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it was
Oh.
so. I think I'm gonna update it every few weeks.
Yeah,
now.
you have
should.
to.
How are the Chiefs 3, bro?
They won a
The
Super Bowl,
Rams
like-
are 7? You got the Rams above the Avs?
See, like, there's no way to actually like.
Yeah, dude, he's got
can
so
compare
bad.
that.
I'll say this: the Sacramento Kings is 124. I don't think anyone's arguing. That is
No.
is that a real? They're still a team.
Yeah, no, even Sacramento Kings fans are like, Jake absolutely nailed this.
I think in terms of credibility, as long as I nailed 1 and 124,
Okay,
That was
so the
fine.
Rangers are above the Bruins.
you just had them in your conference final.
well. Yeah,
good
I'm
point.
thinking. No, I'm thinking. Yeah, but the Bruins won a Stanley Cup more recently. It's that's
yeah,
just.
there's just no like direct.
Oh yeah,
way.
you think?
Yeah.
You were in the
So,
basement for 7 hours doing this, like watching
But-
Tua highlights.
Yeah. But people love it.
Carolina Hurricanes 14
Penguins are 30th. That's pretty high.
for all 4 leagues. I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably 4 or 5 where I really screwed up, but
What is your worst one?
I think Patriots 26 is really bad.
Patriots 26 is one that'll get
Yeah.
people buzzing.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so if it's if we
like
got
the Eagles are
Yeah.
15 places above the
I had the
Patriots.
Phillies at 20. In the
This is
World
really
Series.
I feel like this is real. Yeah, okay. So this is really like what's going on in the NFL right now.
pretty much right now, but like recent few years definitely play a part.
The Heat are 2-5, and he's got them 15.
Yeah, why are
Oh,
the
you're a
Bulls
Heat guy? You're a loser.
83? The
What?
Bulls shouldn't be 83.
Big Cat, your team
it was a week
suck.
ago.
They do suck, but they're not. They went
Yeah.
to playoffs last year.
I think Jake, if the Tampa Bay Lightning
Like
played
the Mets
against
are
the
beneath
Golden
the
State
Twins?
Warriors in baseball, who wins?
Heat and Lightning in baseball.
No, sorry, the Heat and the Golden State Warriors
In baseball,
in baseball.
that's an unanswerable question.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, the
Because-
Coyotes are 123. I forgot. I did want to ask you this. The Coyotes are playing in Arizona State's rink this year. Does it affect like it's obviously the same size, but is
3
there-
years at minimum.
Is there any gambling angle on it?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
they've lost both games there, but I think they lost the first game against Winnipeg in overtime or a shootout, and then the next game, like the Rangers got them late. So I think they might be competitive. They'll get blown out. They're a horrible team.
They're 123 on Jake's rankings.
Yeah, which means you're close to getting kicked out of the 4 major sports leagues in
Yeah.
North America. It's up to Jake
Uh-huh.
who decides.
Are we gonna relegate Jake?
I would relegate his ass right down to
Have like college
the
basketball.
short porch or something.
So
We should have relegation at Barstool.
Relegate podcast guys.
Imagine if like I just have a really bad string of
of
like gambling picks, and next thing you know, like all you can see me is on hot ice.
I'm like, hey G. I'm like,
or no, hot. What is it? Hot.
yeah, hot ice.
no,
What is
I tell Grinnell.
No, it is hot ice.
Yeah, it's hot ice.
Yeah, it is hot.
Who's
I thought
that?
that was a hockey.
I
thing for
tell
some.
Grinnelli, I'm like, Nate's waiting, cracking aces for 2 weeks.
Yep,
But
bring him by.
What about this? Jake's got the 49ers ranked ahead of the Edmonton Oilers.
I don't hate that.
Where do you have the Yankees?
27.
27.
Oh, you
Rings.
motherfucker!
Wait, so you from Florida? But why are you a Yankees fan?
He
Dad's
grew up in
from
a
New York.
Yankees bedroom.
Yeah, my dad's from New York and raised me a diehard.
But he didn't raise you any hockey fan.
No, he's just a baseball fan.
No, he's a Panthers
Well,
fan.
yeah, Panthers and Heat and Dolphins.
It is kind of crazy that you have the Patriots ahead of the New York Yankees.
For the same criteria.
That doesn't make any sense at all, Jake.
I don't think much of it made sense. He did it in a basement over the course of 7 hours looking at 2 highlight videos. It's not
what-
that hard to figure out. He's
Billy,
a
do you
mutant.
have a question for Biz?
I
One
do
last
actually.
For Biz.
Oh,
See you, boy.
No. Actually, so PFT touched upon this earlier with the whole Russia situation.
Oh, God.
And like,
No.
Oh,
you
God damn it.
I was
You
gonna-
thought that was
This
the
isn't
question that
macro-
you
This
got?
isn't macro
You
dosing.
didn't
dude.
ask me. So I was gonna say, with all that happening and players might get conscripted, how was your Saturday?
Conscripted? My
Oh,
Saturday was
wait.
great, bro.
Let's do one last
My
thing.
weekend was awesome.
You want to just go
thanks,
around the
Billy.
room and say
Yeah.
how our Saturdays
I had a
were?
great Saturday.
My Saturday last week,
I was super hungover.
I didn't do any. Oh yeah, you blacked out, right?
He puked on
That
the
was,
table.
that was the weekend.
He
before.
threw up
he-
on Drewski.
He threw up on a fucking blackjack table.
That's
Never,
like
never happened.
that's
that actually
not,
didn't happen.
That didn't.
But it did.
Did not.
But
Oh, I believe him.
Yeah.
did you see the clip
Sure.
where Drewski was like, "Oh, you threw up on
See,
the
this
table
is the
last
thing.
night"?
This is the thing. No, I
did
was
see that. So
I saw him in the line. I was trying to get money out. I couldn't even get money out, so I never even played. That's where I was like, I woke up, I heard that, I was like, was I at the table? I was
Or
like,
you
no, I
don't
couldn't
remember
fucking-
playing though.
Yeah.
No, I followed up. I checked my sources.
What I wanted to say, Whit, I want to give you a chance to just guess one ping pong ball because Hank has not gotten it and he
I
can
know,
never
that's
get
crazy.
it.
But I feel like it's not that crazy to never get it once.
No,
No, it is.
everyone else-
Everyone
thank
else has
you.
gotten
Yeah.
it.
Thank
It's
you.
statistically
Thank you.
harder than
To get
me, who's
So I'm-
gotten it 5 times.
All right, so this-
statistically crazier that
this-
he hasn't gotten it.
I feel like it's statistically harder to get one than it would be.
Not over 400 times.
Yeah.
So this
How many
will be
numbers? 100 numbers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100
I
numbers.
think like over 600 times. How many times have we done it?
2.5 years.
I'm sorry, but 600 times where you have 100 numbers to choose from, I
But
feel like it's crazy.
We've
You
all
get
gotten it
And
twice.
and it's one number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max has been on the show for 2 months. He's already got it.
Yeah, but he's a
How-
Philly scum.
How many times? How many times has it happened?
All right,
It's like
so
point
I'm going to
nine.
give you a
I'll-
chance. I'm going to give you a chance. This does not count official for Hank or anyone else.
Why?
We're not going to get
69.
You know what? Let Hank
Fine,
do it.
you know what? Fuck
Let
it.
Hank
Yeah,
do
it
it.
should
Fuck
al-
it.
if
Go
you guys
ahead.
do it, it should always count.
Yeah.
69.
All right.
17.
All right, so this counts for everyone.
19.
They started like they just started. They just steal my number. PFT just says it right away.
Well, the number
I just
is,
picked the number,
Hank.
Hank.
Yeah.
The number isn't working.
We
Yeah,
decided.
Might be time to switch.
True.
We
Oh,
decided
you
that
just
we were
want to
gonna
get
do
it with your number?
No, I'm just like
I'll
if this
go-
comes up 17 now, I'll probably just fucking I'll end it.
You're gonna
4.
you're gonna relegate yourself
18.
to hell.
28. So 3 for Max, 4 for Hank, 18 for Jake,
19.
19 for Whit,
17.
69.
17, 69, 28. Okay. This counts officially. So there'll be 2 on this show.
Wait, what's
So if
Hank's
seven,
number?
and he always takes 17
Yeah.
every
What's
single
Hank's
time.
number?
What's your number, Hank?
4.
Oh man, this is gonna be 17, 100%. If he gets it, it would be with me.
Oh,
Oh,
Tom
so-
Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of brutal. You don't all see it together. Big Cat sees it before anyone
You
else.
can kind of see
You
it.
can
kinda
kind of
see
see
it.
it.
Oh, I couldn't.
And I actually sometimes don't, like, you can't actually really fully see it until it's all the way down. So it's suspenseful.
You got to start like putting some money on it.
Well,
or-
no, there is.
Oh.
If he gets it once before January 1st, me and PFT are giving him $5,000. But here's
Oh,
the
what are
best
you
part:
paying?
if he gets it twice, he has to give us $5,000.
Or
Oh shit. So you
So he wants to get it once, but then once he gets it,
you don't want
once,
to get it. If you can get it December 29th, they're laughing. Although you guys are gonna be on vacation, you guys don't even work hard.
I don't know what vacation is.
never take it. One.
Hank does.
I love vacation.
That's probably, you know what? That's probably why Hank hasn't gotten it, because he hasn't played a few times. Because
Yeah.
50% of the time he's on
No,
vacation.
if you puke on a blackjack table, you should be suspended from that game for
Yeah.
a week too.
Thank God I didn't do that.
Yeah, thank God.
Boys,
you
thanks
did
for
it.
having me
All
on.
right, Whit, you're the
Thank
best.
you,
Listen
Whit.
to Spittin' Chicklets by Pink Whitney. Thank you. Ryan Whitney was brought to you by our friends at Simply Safe. If you've thought about securing your home with home security, but you've been putting it off, now is the time. Right now, you can order Simply Safe for 50% off, their biggest offer of the year. I love Simply Safe because in an emergency, 24/7 professional monitoring agents use Fast Protect TM technology exclusively from Simply Safe to capture critical evidence and verify the threat is real, so you can get priority police response. They're able to secure the whole home with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, HD security cameras for inside and out, and you can control your Simply Safe through the app, arm or disarm, unlock for a guest, access your cameras, or adjust system settings. Don't miss your chance for massive savings on my favorite security system. Get 50% off any new system at simplysafe.com/PMT today. This is our biggest discount of the year. That's simplysafe.com/PMT. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Go check them out right now. simplysafe.com/PMT. Okay, here is one question with the quarterback with Jared Goff. Okay, we are ready to go with one question with the quarterback, and we figured because the entire segment began with us cold calling our good friend Jared Goff. He never really got a full one question with the quarterback, so he said we had to have him back on. Off a win against the Packers, it is our good friend Jared Goff. One question with the quarterback. Okay, I'll start. And you get a question at the end as well. My question is, on a given day, how many times does Dan Campbell say the word man?
Man, I just said at least, when we're in the building, players at least 100. At least. I'm sure he does it a lot in his interviews, but Man. No, he does it a lot. Yeah, probably at least 100.
All right, I would want it no other way.
This is the beauty
That
of the
was
segment.
that was a better question. Last time you guys asked me if the Queen went to heaven. And that was
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we were on the spot. You were on the spot, so it wasn't a true one question with the quarterback.
So the beauty of the segment is we don't talk about our questions before we ask them. So
Oh,
Big
no.
Cat stole my question.
Shit.
About how many times Dan Campbell says man. So I'll audible and I'll just say, how many times a week does Dan Campbell cry?
Ooh.
Ooh, I hope not very often. I know we've had some tough losses this year that maybe have caused a few tears, but hopefully not very often. I think maybe after last game was an emotional win against the Packers. Maybe a tear or two was shed, maybe even from myself. So that was a good one.
Damn, I would love to ask a follow-up on that, but
Yeah.
I can't. Jake, do you have a question?
Yeah, hi Jared, Jake Marsh, part of my Take podcast. When was the last time you bit someone's kneecap off?
Ooh.
Good question, Jake.
Oh boy. I've yet to do that. We're waiting for our moment. I think if I get on the ground and maybe at the bottom of a pile here coming up, try to take a chomp. Would be challenging with the face mask situation we got going on in the NFL, but maybe if the helmet comes off, I might have a chance there.
Okay. All right, Max, you got a question?
I think he does.
He's looking
I think
at his phone.
I think somebody might have.
Memes, do you
just
have a
said
question
This
ready?
is good. I like this.
Yeah.
I do have a question. It's a good one. Are you guys addicted to faking punts?
Yes. Yes, we are. And, I actually didn't even know that one was happening last week. Usually they tell me when I come off the sideline, hey, man, here comes the fake punt. We do it quite a bit. But last week I didn't even know. And it's kind of become just like something that we do. It's just, all right, jump back off of the field and go back out there.
It's just
Yeah.
like another play in the playbook at this point for you. Jack Fox is a weapon.
Yes.
Jack Fox is an absolute weapon. I think Bill Belichick called him that, and he became the highest paid punter about 5 days later. So, it's good for him.
Yeah. All right, Memes, you got a question?
I do.
Okay.
Did you shake Rodgers' hand? And if so, how injured is his thumb?
Oh, good question, Memes. I
Good.
know that you've been talking about that.
I don't know how injured his thumb is. It looked fine to me, but yes, I did shake his hand. Said good job, good game, stay healthy. The old post-game quarterback handshake, and he was on his way. But he's a friend of mine, and a guy I wish the best to.
Gross. I wish I. Yeah, no, I can't. All right, fine, fuck it. Well, so what we learned from that is his thumb's not that injured, so he's just playing like shit on his own.
Well, yeah, or he just is throwing games.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Jared, you have a question for us?
Yeah. Well, I just was thinking, is that bench press real? I've always kind of wondered.
It is.
It is.
It's very real.
It is very real.
Me and Billy, actually, I benched more than Billy last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he struggled to put up. I don't think he even got 255 up. So Billy, we have a chart on the wall, and he came in last place in the inaugural part of my Take bench off. Just a fun fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who came in first place?
Oh, I guess that was me.
Yeah,
I guess that was
you.
me. Thanks for
And Max.
thanks for-
Max also can bench a lot, but he wasn't part of it. Then.
Max bench is like 285.
Yeah. No big deal.
All right.
We call him
All
one
right.
rep max.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys were just faking it back there or if it was the real deal in the studio.
No,
No,
it's
it's legit.
real. The weights are fake, but the bench press is real. So
Okay, the weights are fake.
yeah, the
okay.
weights are fake. These are hollow, but the actual bench press is very, very real. So it's
Got
a
it.
nice little trick we play. Okay, well, Jared, thank you. This is one question with the quarterback. Our other quarterback, Billy, is not here. He's coming in, commuting, maybe a little late.
His question would have been, "How was your Saturday?"
Yeah,
Bob?
how was your Saturday? Yeah, so that would have been his entire question. Not good luck against the Bears, but also maybe text me after and be like, wow, Justin Fields really is that good. Could you do that for
Justin
me?
Fields is good, man. He's fast.
Yeah.
He's fast, man.
Very
180 yards running's incredible.
Yeah, so
a
maybe
lot.
just remind yourself to do that. Like set a reminder, win, lose, whatever, Sunday night, like maybe 9 o'clock, just text me. Whoa, did your dog just yell?
That's my dog. He's fired up right now. Yeah.
Yeah, because he knows
One
Justin
door.
Fields. Yeah. So yeah, just text me and
he's
just be
scared
like,
of Justin.
yeah, just be like, wow, seeing it in person, that kid is truly special. Just send me that text, please.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
all right.
I think he's a tremendous player.
Yeah, but no, I need the text. I need the text after. 'Cause yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's
Sorry.
okay.
Can you? I
And
don't want to ask you a
I
question.
hope Hank wins the lotto soon. He'll be fine.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
He's never going to win it.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, pick a number. We haven't finished the end of the show, but just pick a number. We'll let you have a number because it'd be great if you won and Hank didn't.
I will do number.
You should do 17.
Ooh, I was.
You
this
should
is
take
hard.
17.
I'm gonna do 57.
57.
Okay.
All right. So I'll text you and let you know if you win this. I'm addicted to getting
Okay.
other people involved now because if they win it and he doesn't, it'll be so great.
It's really tremendous. I mean, it's really hard to believe how he's done it for that long.
He's
It's
just
really
the worst.
incredible. It's like the odds are stacked against him. He's been doing this for 2 years.
He can't get it. Everyone else has gotten it.
He's a mathematical
multiple times.
anomaly.
Yeah.
And what's the bet now if he does get it once or something?
If he gets it once before January 1st, PFT and I owe him $5,000. But if he gets it twice before January 1st, he owes us $5,000. And if he has 0, he owes us $5,000 as well. Actually, saying it out loud now, I'm realizing we completely swindled him on this deal.
That's a bad bet for him. Really bad bet.
Yeah,
Well,
really
I mean,
bad bet.
we gave him the option. He agreed to it. So
Yeah.
Hank's pride really took over on that one. But
Yeah.
you're definitely better at him at calling balls. I really hope you get 57.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be so sweet.
All right, so I'll text you the update and don't hope that Hank ever gets it because he will never get it. So don't waste your hope on that. Use it for something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be following along, though, just to see his misery every week.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it, man. Thanks to Jared Goff. We're going to wrap up with some FAQs brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Delivery and pickup only restaurant brand bringing you craveable cheesesteaks and loaded fries. They got the 6-inch, 12-inch classic cheesesteaks, Chipotle, buffalo chicken, loaded fries, dessert brownie bites, everything. Get lunch, dinner, or late night delivery. They're open 7 days a week. Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com to learn more and order now on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, or Grubhub. We love Pardon My Cheesesteak. Perfect for a little football action on the weekend. FAQs. Hank.
Sup, fellas?
What's up?
Are you guys aware of how much of a constant you are in your AWL's lives? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get excited to drive to work so I can listen. I watch football games on Sunday and think, I can't wait until they talk about that thing that just happened. Basically, my question is, are you aware of how important you are to us?
That's very cool to hear. Sometimes we become aware when we meet people, like, for example, in the airport in Chicago last Thursday, and there was a guy that was waiting for us outside the gate, and he handed his phone to his girlfriend to take the picture of us. And he goes, these are the podcast guys that I listen to all the time. And the look on her face of these fucking guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're basically the third wheel in their relationship.
Yes.
That's always fun to see. I really like that.
It is very weird. I think that we kind of put our heads down and live in our own world a little bit where we're just, doing this job, love this job, but we don't sometimes take a step back. Like I don't know if I've said this on this show, but like 2 weeks ago, I texted the group out of the blue because I was just scrolling on Twitter and scrolling like through the podcast charts, and I saw like we're top 10 podcast episode on Spotify and iTunes. The only ones bigger are Joe Rogan and news podcasts or like crime podcasts. And I texted the group. I was like, we should just for a second just be like, holy shit, like we've been number one for a very long time. We don't really brag about it, but it's like we should remember how big this is and how cool it is that we all get to do this job. And then when, like PFT said, when we go out and meet people and they're like, I listen to you every week, I've been listening for 7 years, like, fuck, man, that's awesome. Like, it does kind of blow my mind. I do have to do that more often where I take a step back or we get a message from someone being like going through a tough time and you guys have been the constant. Like, those messages always make what we do feel so like much cooler than I think we give ourselves credit for. So let's pat ourselves on the back.
It gives me a great idea. Pat.
Because we don't. There are people who maybe sometimes brag about rankings. We don't do it, but like we should every now and then brag about the fact that we've been number one for a really long time.
When you're number one, you don't really have to tell people that you're number one
right
often.
But it's cool.
But it's not bad
cool.
to say.
It's cool. It's like a cool thing because I think we forget sometimes how big this podcast has been for how long. Like sometimes we do this show and it feels like we're doing it for just ourselves, when it's obviously not the case. So,
sorry.
I was just going to say, Big Cat gave me a great idea because there are some crime podcasts that do numbers. If we had Billy commit a crime,
I would do that.
And then Jake had to solve it.
Yeah. Cold case.
I like
Billy
that.
football.
Yeah, not to get too deep, but I remember when we first started and it was just us three. I was doing a lot of the socials and we'd see messages like that where it's like, you're helping me go through all this time. And in my head, I would read that and kind of be like, we're just three dudes fucking around with each other. It's not that serious. It's kind of surprising people felt that way. And then, obviously, a couple years ago, I went through a breakup. It was like a work thing, and I wanted to get away from work or like go home, and I would watch like streamers, like video game streamers, has nothing to do with work, and it's like I felt that like you're hanging out with them, you're laughing,
right?
You get away from it, and then going through that, I was like, oh, these guys are helping me get through something. They have no idea. They're just playing video games, fucking around with each other. But that being there helped me, and that put in perspective like what we do for everyone else. So that definitely is some good perspective, and it's helped me realize like how helpful something like this can be.
Yeah, and I think it's healthy that we don't stop and think about that too much, because we are like, it is good that the show always does feel like just guys fucking around in a room. I think that's what people like. But I also have those moments where I think about big picture, and I'm like, we are important to a lot of people, and it's like, it touches me. I know this is, I don't want to get emotional, but I like really am like touched by that. Like it is, no, but you know what I mean? Like it really is like something that when I think about, and like I don't want to say legacy, but like what you mean to other people, it's fucking awesome. And I appreciate everyone who listens and stands by us and who's been ride or die. And even if you're someone who is like, fuck it, I don't like these guys anymore, and then you come back, it's okay. We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah,
you're back.
The door's always open.
Yeah, the door's always open. You can leave and come back. You can always
crash at my pad, and that was a very big part. I know I talked about it about 8 months ago, or however long ago it was, 6 months ago, when I did my new contract here. I didn't want to leave. Obviously, I love you guys, but also the relationship that we have with our listeners that we've developed over the course of 7 years. Like, there are relationships that I used to have when I was a kid with people that I would listen to on the radio, or whether it would be like a host, a DJ, or like my favorite band, that sort of thing, where I felt like there was a relationship there, and that meant a lot to me then. And I realized that there are people that feel that same way about us right now, and that's not something that I ever want to take for granted, because it could be, somebody could promise the world to you to go across the street, but sometimes you have to realize that what you have at home is really what you ultimately want to be at.
Now, the opposite side of that is kind of scary, because like when you think about the fact that there's like 14-year-olds listening to this and we're like raising them, there's going to be a whole world of, Billy, look how Billy's turned out. That's scary.
I've been listening since sophomore.
Yeah, that's scary. That scares me a little bit, because it's like there'll someday be an article being like, why is the world fucked up? Oh, all these fucking people listen to Part of My Take at a too young of an age.
Yeah, they'll be like, girls can't come.
Yeah.
That's what most
periods
adult
aren't
males
real.
now think.
Yeah.
Periods aren't real.
Justin Fields sucks, even though he has 5 Super Bowls by then.
Really, once Billy starts actually committing to serious crimes, then we'll obviously be able to make the crime podcast, but that will be our canary in the coal mine to tell that like all the listeners that have grown up on Part of My Take are now starting to turn into criminals all at once.
Yes, that is coming.
All right, we'll wrap up with a couple quick ones. Would love to get a peek behind the editing process. How often do you cut interview questions or redo segments that the AWLs never end up hearing? Almost never.
Very, very rarely.
A lot in the beginning.
Yeah. I would say there's probably one joke between me and PFT like every month that we're like, hey, that was maybe, let's just cut that, because it's like, someone could think that's insensitive. And then in interviews, like maybe sometimes we'll cut a little bit just if it's long, but it's very, very little.
Or actually, like the first time we had Blake Bortles on the show,
Yeah.
he didn't even say anything bad, but he said something that could be interpreted as being bad if someone were to be trying to get him. So we're just like, okay, we'll take that out of the interview.
Right.
And then, besides that, we'll just text Max Homa after the show's over and ask him to take any of it out.
It's very, 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 very small. I'd say once every 20 episodes.
I also think back to when it was just us three sometimes and laugh that we were hell-bent on episodes not being over like in 120 minutes or whatever. So if it did, we would have to cut stuff out. And that was always a process. And it's like that.
Now you're just stuck with us.
Yeah. All right, last one. I like this one. Where'd it go? Sup, fellas. If the championship deciding game of every major sport was happening on the same weekend, what order would you put the games in to have the best weekend viewing experience?
Oh, that's a great question. I think Game 7 World Series Friday night.
Okay. I'd go probably hockey Game 7.
I was going to say Game 7 Stanley Cup Saturday night on that.
And then I would go I was thinking just Saturday, Sunday. I was going to go Game 7 hockey Saturday afternoon, Game 7 World Series Saturday night, Game 7 NBA title on Sunday afternoon game, Super Bowl Sunday night.
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday night's easy.
Yeah,
Super Bowl
Super Bowl
Sunday
Sunday
night,
night is so easy.
Obviously, I would say World Series Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon, I would go college football championship.
Oh yeah, that's
Saturday evening, I would then do Stanley Cup. I would put that as my evening because that could run long.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to bleed over into the World Series. And then, your Sunday is.
I would do the college football Friday night, so it's a football sandwich.
I would do NBA Saturday night and baseball during the day Sunday because it's longer.
Yeah.
You know, there's potential for that could be all day. That could go from 1 o'clock till the Super Bowl starts.
And then it's a day off. And then Monday, you get the Masters in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Monday's day off. I was
Monday,
just
yeah.
saying, why not Super Bowl on a Saturday or Friday night? Like, so there's the next day off.
Well,
you have the other games, though. But yeah, Super Bowl Saturday night would be sick.
That's what I'm saying.
Super Bowl Saturday night should happen. Although Super Bowl Sunday, it's in the name. I have one more. Hey, PMT, I'm a new listener and noticed you guys guess a lottery ball at the end of every show and was wondering if you give us how many times each person has won. I assume everyone has won since it's almost impossible not to get it at least once, right?
Yep.
I've won twice.
I believe I've won twice as well.
5 times.
5 times, Jake.
I thought you won 6 to 8
4
times.
Memes. Memes has won it once.
0.
No, well, you don't guess all that many times. Max/Memes have won it once. So that chair's won it once.
If Memes wins it today.
Oh, that would be incredible.
That'd be pretty
Hank,
awesome.
have you ever won it?
Liam won, Post mostly.
Yeah. Have you ever won it,
I have
Hank?
not.
Oh.
Are we doing
Wait, that's weird.
Are we doing numbers now?
Yeah, we're doing numbers.
69. 69.
I think you guys got to rock, paper, scissors, shoot for it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
This
Yep.
could be a $5,000 rock, paper, scissors
Yeah.
shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I beat you.
All right, so
I'm taking
PFT has
17.
18.
18, 69 for Billy. 3.
The fear in
3
Hank's
for
eyes
Memes.
right now.
Jared Goff has 57. You heard him say that.
71.
71. All right, I'll go 70.
Put the 44 back in. Yeah, there we go.
No Mickey Mouse.
Hank, are you sure you're not gotten this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I feel like you've gotten this before.
I don't like this new
I
system.
want 17. I want 17 so bad.
What did I guess? 70. 44!
Whoa!
That's
Back to
crazy.
back.
Wow.
That's crazy.
44 is hot right
Whoa.
Back to back.
Whoa.
now. Has that ever happened before?
I think so. I'll check.
Oh, my God.
I feel like it's happened once.
Wow.
Maybe not.
Like
wow,
77.
Hank. You literally could have just guessed 44 one of the last 2 times you would have won.
Yeah, you cut your odds in half. 50. It was
That's-
basically
Yep.
a 50-50 chance.
March of 2022, 72 back-to-back.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It's tough luck, Hank.
Love you guys.
Some goats wash their teeth with other goats' piss.